My friends, we are back. We are here. We are live. Brand new Doug Polk versus Daniel Negreanu. Heads up for souls. The battle of the death. A challenge years in the making. We're back. Day 7. Joe Ingram 1, aka Chicago Joey, will be joined soon again by my co-commentator, Landon Tice. Doug Polk currently up $67,000 after 7 days. 2,374 hands. Projected to play 25,000 hands total. We are here, day 7. We came back from our 2-month off break back on Monday, and you guys know that, listen, it was a great stream. It was good to be back. We've been gone for a long time from the content world. Daniel Negreanu has just sat down. There was some drama last night that took place between my man Bill Perkins, Doug Polk. It was squared away. Something about going over hands. I don't know what the fuck was going on, guys. But listen, people were going over hands in 2003, Perk. So we're going to talk more about that, guys. The match has begun. We're going to pull up the tweets. We're going to pull up kind of what we got here. Let me fix these tables. Now that we got our boys sitting, the epic music is going on. The truck is getting backed up into the station. The Brinks truck is nearing its way, my friends. We are here. 200, 400, no limit hold'em, high stakes, World Series of Poker.com. The man, the myth, the legend, Daniel Negreanu versus Douglas K. Polk, the supreme leader, aka 6PP. And listen, everyone thought Doug Polk was a massive favorite coming into this match. And Daniel Negreanu has been holding his own quite well. Last session, Daniel certainly put up... I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Certainly put up a nice battle, but the last hour of the match, he got beat down by Doug a little bit, just for about a buy-in and a half. But here we go. Already, first hand, right-hand side, we see an overbet from Doug Polk, and we saw a lot of those going on. Micro stakes is going to be Doug Polk. Daniel Negreanu is going to be D-Negs with a Canadian flan. Another overbet on the left-hand table. And we do have Landon joining here very soon. Guys, I want to say thank you very much to everybody out there. I know the same table twice. We have to change it. Calm down, guys. We got it. So... When they open up a table, they only open one table, so you can only open one table at a time. So to get it set up, make sure I have it going on. We got it. But yeah, guys, let's get into it. Let's get after it. I want to thank everybody for all the wonderful comments on Instagram and on my Twitter. I retweeted some of them today. I tried to respond to everybody on Twitter. I'm going to be spending time later today responding to everybody on Instagram. You guys are so fucking nice. I appreciate it very much. It's good to be back. I definitely missed doing poker commentary, talking with the poker community, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's, yeah, man, you guys are awesome. You guys are super nice. Just, I can't say thank you enough for all the fine comments. And I see my buddy Ryan DePaulo out there. My guy, what's up, brother? Nice to see you, man. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're doing well. And, yeah, man, I appreciate the feedback, the truck beeping, the sound effects. They're going to last, man. We've been in the lab, in the production lab, trying to figure out what else can we add for sound effects, for green screen, for video. How can we change this to make it a better production? And that's what I'm going to be doing over the course of this challenge. So let's get into it, man. Right-hand side, Daniel Negreanu, turn bet, about 3/4 pot. Left-hand side, 3-bet from Daniel Negreanu. People are saying the OCD is going off on the tables. Listen, guys, you got to calm the fuck down, all right? Calm down. Landon will be here soon. Landon didn't know that the stream starts at 2:30. Got to show up at 2:30. He's deciding to show up late past 2:30 like a standard poker player is. That's what these poker players do. They don't show up on time, and that's how it works, man. Daniel Negreanu gets check call on the right-hand side. Doug shows down the bottom 2 pairs. Slow played that bottom 2 pair. Daniel did not bet the river, and Doug takes down a $12,000 pot. Left-hand side, Daniel gets 3 bets pre-flop. C bets the ace-queen-8 board. And Doug decides to make a very small raise here, unusual to raise on the ace-high board. So Doug makes a small raise and takes it down. So Doug picking up first blood on both of these tables, up a little bit of money. As I said, coming into the match, $67,000 lead for Doug Polk. Daniel won the first day when they had that live duel in Poker Go Studio. Beautiful set there, great production. And since they got online, it's been a little back and forth. Daniel did take a lead, and Doug retook the lead last match, so it's anyone's game. And for you guys that don't know online, so yesterday there was a bit of drama, and we do have, I mean, I can't wait to show off some of these new sound. We have one new great sound effect that I'm going to put into play. I'm excited for it. Right-hand side, Doug takes down another pot. Left-hand side, Doug takes down another pot as well, too. So let's show this, because there's a quick Twitter thing yesterday, guys. If any big hands happen, I'll I'll pull them up here. Let me get my comments over this time. Let me get my screen name situated. Scott Sorens says, joining him cured my cancer. Thank you. The truck is ready, guys. The truck is definitely ready. So I want to pull up some of these. This Twitter beef was pretty funny. I don't know if it was Twitter beef. I don't really know if it was a beef. I don't know if it was a misunderstanding. It seemed like it was a misunderstanding on Bill Perkins' side. Bill Perkins has put a lot of action on Daniel Negreanu, so he appears to be. I didn't really follow who placed side bets leading up to the bet. I think he took on a lot of action at 4-1. Plus, they're cross booking on who wins at the table. Perkins is betting on Daniel Negreanu, and I guess there was something about reviewing hands. So the allegation was, I mean, I don't know, but it was kind of cleared up, so I don't think it was anything too serious. But there was basically this tweet right here, which said, let me pull it up here. It says, match delayed due to disagreement over rules. One party, Doug Polk, thinks it's okay to manually enter in hand history to software and have frequency analysis done, and the other does not. Big disadvantage that D-Nix has not been doing this. And then Phil Galfon's the arbitrator, and he says, correction, has frequency analysis done. I don't really know what I don't really know what the fuck they're talking about, to be honest with you guys. Like, Doug was putting in hands, or I don't know, but he basically replied pretty in depth here. He said that he was going through the hands in his replayer, so he's pulling up the replayer and going at the hands. I don't really know what the dispute's over, to be honest with you. And according to Daniel, it might be against TOS to enter your hand histories manually or automatically, or screen scraping into some sort of data program in order to track your hands and then be able to analyze your opponent's play. That is not allowed. So I think the misunderstanding was that was what they thought Doug was doing to break down Daniel's game, or maybe they just weren't sure exactly what each side could do in order to review the hands. So they went back and forth. Doug took a lot of shots at him. Perkins definitely took the brunt of this, because my man Will Jaffe made a 1 minute and 54 second video that got 85,000 views, and a lot of people seem to be taking the side of, I don't know, there seem to be some backlash against Bill Perkins. I don't really know what happened there, but I know Bill Perkins was really loved in the community for a while, and now he appears to be getting some flack for the whole, like, there was the online app scandal that took place. He said it was a bigger deal than Mike Postle, and now this kind of came up too. He's kind of getting involved with this. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. We gotta let Landon in the house, guys, here. Hey. Hello.
Hey, it's Officer Days at the retail lobby.
Yeah, can you let the little man up, please? Thank you very much. Bye. Aye. All right, man. I don't know what this drama is. I know you guys love the drama out there, but let's get back to the action. Left-hand table, Doug Polk, 3 bets. C-bets, about a quarter pot. Daniel is going to bet the river, that block bet, 1/4 size. And Doug's going to raise him. Flush is out there. Straight is out there. Doug's saying that he has a king. Could have a flush some percentage of the time. Left-hand side, Doug's going to situation bet once again on the turn. So quarter pot on the flop. Pretty big bet on the turn, 9,600. This could be our first back up the truck moment. Daniel just call. Do you guys hear that? The truck is getting ready to get backed up. A pile full of money might be going Doug Polk's way. Who will strike first blood? Will we have our first animation of the night? Doug's all in. Doug's saying ace, king, kings, queens, king, queen, aces. Ace, jack. He shows the bluff. Daniel calls. Aye. First blood. Doug Polk is felted by Daniel Negreanu. Negreanu with the top pair, 10 kicker. Doug went for it with the ace jack offsuit. And unfortunately, you guys know what that means. The truck is blowing out its tire. First blood goes to Daniel Negreanu. Back that truck up the other way. $80,000 pot goes D-Neg's way. I'm a little off the game right now. I thought we were going to be here, kind of landing. We'll be locked in. We'd be ready to go right now. So I'm trying to catch up here. Get it going on. Aye. Hey, the kid. Hey, the kid's here.
You made it.
Aye. Well, let's see if these audio, this microphone's better today. Welcome here, Poker Kid. Welcome back. Doug Polk loses an $8,000 pot.
You lost an 80K pot?
Daniel Negreanu, yeah, Doug 3-bet, flops king high, king 8-5, he continuation bet. Daniel calls, turns a queen, Doug bet again, Daniel called, river, I think it was a 6, and Doug bluffed all in with ace-jack offsuit, and Daniel called with the top pair, 10 kicker, took it down. And just like that, Daniel is up to the lead. Right-hand table, Doug Polk's going to be overbetting 10.5K into 7,000. Poker kid Landon Tice in the house, 21 years old. One of the top upcoming players in North America, debatably the world. Talking to the mic, man. Let's make sure the audio sounds good.
Are we good? We're good.
Say hello to the fans out there. They're all in the chat right now.
Let's go. Wait, the real question is, did we play the truck driving going off the cliff?
We did play the truck driving animation.
That's exactly what we wanted to hear. It's exactly what we wanted.
So right-hand table, Doug's goes for the overbet. Left-hand table, Daniel 3 bets pre-flop, gets a call, flops king 10-5, 2 hearts. You want to get more in a shot here, buddy?
Yeah, sure.
Bam, bam. Welcome here. Welcome, kid Landon.
We're here.
We're here. We're live. My man Ryan DePaulo in the chat. Just, let's twist that right hand. Twist that thing down there, brother. This one. No, down there. See that one? Yeah. There you go. Cool.
All right, we're figuring it out.
Perfect.
I think we got it, actually. This is just like that.
All right, cool. Let me know how the audio is out there, guys. So Doug, once again, we saw him do this earlier on the ace, queen, 8, 2 clubs board. Now he's raising again very small. So Daniel, quarter pot c-bet, 3-bet pot. Doug, very small. What do you make of this, Landon?
A lot of his range in here is going to be like the obvious draws and the 2 pairs, like in sets. And it's kind of a spot that's a little bit interesting because especially on king high boards, like king high Broadway boards, like king plus Broadway, it's going to be pretty advantageous for the 3-better, just connecting with most of the Broadway 3-bets, where the caller is going to have a lot of the suited hands and some, and less frequent offsuit Broadways, because those are more likely 4-bets to try to win pre.
So when Doug raises here, what do you make of that? Because we didn't really see him doing this in the last session. We didn't see him raise these 3-bets at very small size once Daniel quarter pot.
Yeah, so I think he's going to have a lot of draws and a lot of made hands already. Hands that probably unblock a king, because with a king, Doug's trying to target a hand like that to call if he has value.
Where we go, all in. Wow. Calls. Oh my God, the truck is falling off.
Off the rails.
The truck is falling
derailed.
off of the rails today. Polk, the truck is blowing off its fucking tires today. So Doug, do the old classic 2008 move there where he raises with the pair and the flush draw. I guess he thinks maybe
There's just too much equity. It's just so much equity. You can't really go wrong.
Yeah. Well, Doug,
yeah.
What do you think about that bet on the turn? He bets half pot. Daniel rips it in with the top pair.
Yeah, easy call.
I mean, obviously for Jack 10, but what do you think about betting the turn versus checking the turn with the Jack 10? Do you think you always have to bet the Jack 10 of hearts there?
I think checking back's also extremely reasonable too, especially blocking a hand like Queen Jack, which you want Daniel to continue with. So it's pretty likely at this point when we also block a 10 and Daniel does call a flop raise, he probably has a king in his hand.
So do you think that maybe Doug should think about checking back?
I think checking back is reasonable, but he also gets some value sometimes from hands like ace high heart draws and things of that nature too. So you can't really go wrong with the amount of equity he has in the pot.
Never go wrong. You hear that, guys? Anytime you can put all your money in with a pair and a flush draw, you got to do it. Unfortunately, Doug does not hit the flush. Daniel quickly up $80,000. Let's see. This could be a big session for our man, Kid Poker, Daniel Negreanu. We also got a couple other sound effects lined up here for when Daniel wins pot, guys. And I got to tell you.
Oh, this is a great one. No, I'm not going to say what it is.
You're got to change this mic. So when you yell in the mic, the audio levels are breaking. So we got to try to regulate these mic here, man. Make Boy Finn says Jack 10 of hearts managed to blunder 2 of the 3 decisions there. Very interesting. Make Boy Finn, debatably one of the top poker players in the world right now in the chat. I saw my man Max Chiswick in the chat. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you, brother. Nice to see you. Daniel takes down a pot on the right-hand side. We got my girl Shelby in the chat, and she's in the moderating streak. She says, can you guys hit the like button, please? Yes, we'll be here for, I'm going to be here doing every match these two play from now on. I'm going to be here doing commentary. Landon is going to be here for as many as he can while he's in town. And listen, I know Landon saw all the feedback you guys gave us on Twitter. Once again, thank you very much for all the kind words everybody said out there. It seems like you guys really enjoyed the show. You really enjoyed the action. You enjoyed the commentary. Some of you guys didn't necessarily enjoy the beep, beep, beep. Yeah. But you know, we got more sound effects coming, guys. Listen, it's the real Kid Poker. That's true. That's true, sure. Landon.
Yeah. That's
true, man. So Landon's getting this microphone fixed out there. Who else we got in the chat, man? Who we got out there today? Let me see. Jack Clubs, Lisa S. Verlin, my man. What's up, buddy? Logan, what's happening, man? What's going on? Nicole Prada, what's happening? You really are the best poker commentator. I hate watching online poker, but you make it awesome. Thank you very much. You know what? Listen, man, I've been doing commentary, been doing poker, talking poker for a long time. So I hope I'm fucking good at this point in time. So Landon check raise left hand side. Doug goes with that. What is it, about 2/3 pot?
Yeah,
Daniel check
2/3
raises
pot.
7, 8, 9, and Doug lays it down. So Daniel, a lot of momentum right now. Taken to the streets. Up about 2 buy-ins.
Yeah. It just started like 10 minutes ago. Almost,
Yeah.
12 minutes
Just
ago.
started. Just kind of get going on here. Doug, right hand side calls. Daniel owns them with the 3rd pair. Now, what a value bet from Daniel Negreanu. As he's going to take that one down, we got our first replay of the day. Our replayer is sponsored by nobody. If you'd like to sponsor our
you wanna sponsor the
replayer,
replay.
if you want to sponsor the replayer, hit us up, and you can be a sponsor of the replayer. Sponsored by Coca-Cola today.
Allegedly.
Quench your thirst with a warm Coca-Cola classic.
Warm?
A warm Coca-Cola classic. So as we see here.
Warm. If you drink warm soda, you got a long way to go.
So Doug, and by the way, I'm covering up the hand, but I will go to the table if we have any big action taking place. So we can see here, Daniel flops that middle pair, checks back 2 streets. River comes down the 9. Daniel, nice value bet, 3/4 pot. What do you think about this value bet, Landon?
I just got called by ace high here a lot of the time, and sometimes like under pairs to the 7. They just kind of have direct odds to call in a check down pot because his range are going to be as wide as possible, especially when it goes to single raise pot and checks down. Because Daniel's going to have his entire range here, so it's Doug. So hands like ace high here are just a pretty evident call, and then you just sort of live with it because Daniel can just have a lot of 6 highs and 10 highs, jack highs, and hands like that don't really connect.
So you think you're always value betting all your 7s here when played. So you're basically value betting any pair on the river, and then you're balancing that with some bluffs that you decide not to bet by the river.
Yeah, with some like 0 equity kind of hands that don't pick up anything like a 6-5 off that you just open and then don't connect with the board in any sort of connectivity.
A jack high, are you just showing that one down, or what are you doing with a hand like a jack high, like a jack 10?
On flop, I mostly be betting, depending on the suits of my hand, but checking back is also extremely reasonable.
Okay. So Daniel, nice value bet, takes on another pot. He's chipping up here quite nicely. Left-hand table, you guys saw in those single raise pots and a lot of textures, Daniel is going with that 3/4 pot size bet. Doug does check call, deuce on the turn, and Doug with the lead. We saw that a lot last time, guys.
Yeah,
Check call and leading when the board does pair.
Yeah,
So that little $800 bet into 5,000, automatically you bet that.
little 20% pot.
And Daniel just calls. Board pairs on the river, 5, 5, deuce, deuce, 3. Any deuce, any 5 is a full house. If you got a straight here, if you have ace 4 somehow, you're liking it, but you're probably not feeling too.
Yeah.
You block the ace high. I mean, now you're like, oh my God. Doug with the overbet here, 9,700. What do you think he's got here? I mean, he's basically saying he's got a 5 or a deuce, right?
Right, yeah. And he's going to lead on the deuce with other hands than just deuce X. He's going to have overpairs to the 5. He's going to have some 5X as well in order for when rivers like that does appear, he does connect and have full houses in a 5. And he's also going to lead hands like 3-4 for a straight draw. Or the open-ended draw, I don't necessarily remember the board too well. I think it was
5 deuce
5
3.
deuce 3,
Turn deuce.
5. Yeah, so hands like 4X are a good choice, having open-ended draws and just low showdown. So, yeah, like Doug's range kind of looks like what it is, a 5 or a deuce or a bluff, and Daniel has ace-high bluff catches and 5s as well, because he's obviously not folding the turn with a 5 in his hand.
So when Doug overbets there, what are you going to be calling with? Do you have to call with your ace highs?
A deuce and a 5, and then ace, maybe some ace highs depending on the suits and the whether or not you block a straight. Like, you don't really have. Yeah, this fucking mic is brutal. It keeps falling.
Twist it in, buddy.
Is this one?
Have heart with it. Have heart. Have a lot of heart. Push that button. Twist that in hard. There you go.
This one?
Yeah. There you go. And pick it up. Man. Pick it up. Pick it up. You got it.
Yeah,
You're
so
on it. You got it.
a hand like ace 6 would be a pretty decent call, blocking straights in some capacity, and you want Doug to kind of have a 4 to be bluffing with.
So in that situation, if you have ace king, that's a weaker hand to you than ace 6.
Yeah, because Doug's not really representing any sort of ace high hand. He's representing boats. So when he's representing boats, you want to kind of allow him to have as much bluffs as possible. So ace king might actually be pretty decent because you unblock all of the lower cards, which is a good thing to do, when, especially when a straight probably wouldn't be value betting the river for that size.
Makes sense. Right hand sable. Doug goes for the light value bet with the pocket with a pair of 9s, and Daniel river's top pair makes the call, takes it down. Another pot goes down the ground his way. Left hand side, Doug goes with a pretty big bet, 2,800 and 3,500. See what Daniel does here. Backdoor flush gets there. This could be a good spot for Daniel to make one of the patented 25x raises, as he has more ace kings, right?
No. It's possible.
Remember last time? I mean, we didn't see Daniel actually do any of those real crazy overbets like Doug did. We saw
Right.
Doug do a few 5x pots, 4x pots, but we didn't see Daniel do anything like that quite yet. But maybe his team, maybe they watched that and they're trying to find some spots that Daniel can work into his game.
Yeah, so I think Daniel has been pretty open about him using mostly a two-sizing strategy of using 20% and 75%. So I think that Daniel's just going to try to play his own game and like stay within his own realm of what they've solved for, rather than try to play Doug's game of bigger bets and over bets, especially if he's unstudied in them. And there's some pretty intuitive spots on when to go for over bets, like when you have flushes and blockers to strong flushes and things of that nature. But most of the time, I think Daniel's going to play pretty consistent with his overall strategy and kind of just play his own game and see what happens.
Interesting, yeah. So you think he's not necessarily going to have that move in his arsenal?
Not as much as Doug,
Yeah,
for sure.
Interesting. That makes sense. Do you think that means that Daniel's going to have a harder time playing against that simply because he might not understand how to utilize that type of strategy in his own game?
I think he'll adjust fine based on the people that he obviously is doing coaching and stuff with, to where when Doug does make these big polarizing bets, it's relatively evident to someone like him and his team that when you're bluff catching in these spots, you want to kind of be blocking the nuts and blocking hands that Doug's representing, which makes hands like one pair with a straight blocker way more valuable than a hand like two pair in some instances.
Interesting.
Just because you're trying to effectively take away combos that beat you and allows him to have more bluffs of just stone nothing.
There you go, guys. Texas Hold'em from Landon Tice over here. When you play some break game pot Manoa, man, I love pot Manoa. Shout out to PLO. Yes, if you guys just tuned in, Daniel Negreanu already up 2 buy-ins on the left-hand side. He got it, won a big pot versus Doug. Doug had Jack 10 for a pair and a flush draw versus Daniel's top pair, queen kicker, and a 3-bet pot. Ended up taking that one down, and I won another big pot against Doug. So already we're seeing Daniel Negreanu. Maybe Doug's on tilt a little bit from Bill Perkins. Bill Perkins was kind of winding him up a little bit yesterday. And maybe that was Perkins' point. You see that on Twitter when Perkins kind of said something about analyzing hands and manually putting in hand. I still really don't understand exactly what the issue was, but maybe he was doing that to kind of get in Doug's head a little bit. He's got a lot of money on the line on Daniel, betting with different people in the poker community. So they have a cross book and they have a side bet kind of going on. So maybe that was Perkins' plan, and maybe it worked for Doug.
Perkins riled him up a little bit.
Perkins rallying him up, man. Listen, getting in the streets, battling, trying to win this bet. First 4-bet of the match here. Right-hand table from Daniel Negreanu. Let's see what Doug Polk does. We did not see Daniel 4-bet too much last
You have
time.
to understand that everything you do at the poker table conveys information.
So Daniel conveying information with that 4-bet. Let's see what Doug
He's
Polk...
conveying that he has a pretty good hand here.
He is conveying he's got a good hand here. May we see the truck backed up. It's all in. Doug Polk. We have not seen a 5-bet jam all in here. Daniel lays it down, and just like that, picks up a little pot. So first 5-bet of the match today goes Mr. Doug Polk's way. Little horn.
A little horn.
Little horn. Just a little one. We see a little
bit.
truck. A little truck. Nice hand. Nice hand. People are asking me, did I play that Nolan Hold'em MTT? I did. The second hand, I shoved all in, or I raised pocket jacks under the gun. I registered late, and it got 5 callers, and then the big blind jammed all in. So I said,
Yes.
I'm calling. I called. He won the coin flip. Next hand, I was out, and that was my tournament. So that's it. So my tournament didn't go well.
Or maybe it did. You got out of there quick.
Yeah, it was nice. It was good. I mean, I kind of wanted to win it just for the sake of it. So, how you doing, man? What have you been up to these past yesterday on our day off? Play poker?
Yesterday. Yeah, I played some poker. I played some 1500 on WSOP yesterday, which went pretty well.
Yeah, how'd it go?
I want to buy in,
Okay.
so we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, a buy-in at $5,000, $10,000, not bad, right?
Not too bad.
Not bad at all. Right-hand table, got a little action. Daniel bets turn. Doug calls. Rivers to 10. Let's see what Negreanu will do here. Negreanu's in the tank. Bum, bum, ba, bum. He doesn't check it. Doug checks back in. Daniel shows down the 8, so he bets the turn with the 8.
Yep.
Does not value bet the river. Pretty standard, right, Jack 8?
I think you can make a case for betting small and also check calling.
Mm-hmm.
I think the EV difference isn't that it's pretty negligible.
Mm-hmm.
And Doug does like to go for some bluffs, and Daniel had a pretty good bluff catcher. blocking a straight in the Jack 9 and just having an inherent value in a pair. So Daniel is definitely not folding that hand on the river.
So Daniel's going to call him there with the 8.
A good amount of the time, yeah.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Right.
We see a 3 bet on the right-hand side and a pot size bet on the left-hand table. So right-hand table, Doug 3 bets. Daniel calls. Jack deuce 3 all diamonds, left-hand side. Doug goes for that big bet. Big range advantage here for Doug Polk.
On the turn, yeah, he just has way more king queens.
And Daniel does call. So we might see a couple spicy hands right here.
Doug might just go for that all in that we
So you think this might be a spot where Doug goes for the 38,000 4x pot all in?
that we know and love.
Well-
It's possible.
Well, we're going to see what happens. Right-hand side, Doug does check after 3-betting pre-flop. Daniel quarter pots it. Will Doug Polk back up the truck? Shove all in? He does.
He goes for the overbet.
Overbets,
so
okay. 1.5x pot, not as extreme.
Doug raises on a monotone board, which is a little bit interesting.
Yeah, after
There aren't
3-betting.
there aren't too many raises on these boards, but there are some.
And Daniel does call. Very
Fourth
interesting
diamond,
hand.
Fourth diamond's. I think fourth diamond's better for Doug.
All in.
Daniel just-
Holy shit.
Wow.
He does have king queen, huh?
This is a single raise pot, right?
Yeah, it's a single raise pot. Daniel shoves all in over the 1.5x pot bet.
Wow.
Wow.
Having-
Doug is not snap called, so that's a good sign for Daniel Negreanu if he's bluffing.
Daniel can have like a queen 8 here.
Queen 8, you think he check calls queen 8 pot? Maybe
With
double,
a double
double gutter.
double
Okay, I see what
gutter.
you're saying.
I
Okay.
think it's possible. Wow.
And he does fold, and Daniel Negreanu takes down another big pot.
You need to understand that everything you do at the poker table conveys information. You can't be like all loosey-goosey having a sandwich, in on your phone.
Honestly, like
Woo,
this
baby,
this
I
music's
love it.
pretty fire.
I know, it really is fire.
Dun, 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 dun.
So right-hand side, turn, no action. River, Doug checks it. So Doug check raised the flop.
Check raise, check, check.
What is going on here? Oh my God! Wow!
He
What
gets
the
saved.
hell?
The cooler situation is
Holy
avoided.
shit! Oh my God! How does that not be a bigger pot right there? Pot B. Let me see. What's going on here, boys and girls? Let's see. So Doug 3-bet. Wait, what did he have? 8-4 suited.
Yep.
What's going on here?
And heads up, you bet these sort of lower suited hands.
What are you talking
at some
about?
percentage.
8-4 diamonds 3-bet.
Well, when you see that the button is opening around 80% of hands,
Okay.
your 3-bet range is going to get wider by default.
Okay. So let's put our replay down here so people in the chat aren't crying a lot, and we know we don't like when they cry. So Daniel flops to queen high flush. Doug check raises small with the 8 high flush. Daniel just calls. The turn is the 7 of diamonds, and it goes check, check, and the river. Landon, what's happening on this river? Why does Daniel Negreanu? I mean, Doug does check raise small, so maybe Daniel thinks he's not going to get called by worse. He's got the queen of diamonds and the
Yeah.
10 of diamonds in his hand. What's happening here, buddy?
I think that's what it is having the queen and the 10 makes it harder to get paid by worse in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And Doug could easily just have a hand like an ace or a king of diamonds that traps. But I would be pretty surprised to see if queen 10 in practice, and well, in theory, is actually checking back the river. I feel like there's a value bet coming in some point, probably on the river for about half pot, because Doug still can find calls with a jack X, like a non-believing jack that thinks Daniel's kind of continuing with certain hands that don't connect with the 4th diamond. However, it's also really difficult for that to be the case, especially when he calls a check raise on a monotone board, because most of his continues are going to contain a diamond in his hand.
Right. Yeah.
So
I
it's
mean,
hard to really have like a stone nothing
Right.
sort of hand, which is very difficult.
Yeah. Very strange hand. I mean, you very rarely see the
And the check raise on a
the
monotone
check raise
flop.
on the monotone flop to 6,000, right?
Right.
A very unusual play, but yeah, 8-4 suited. Do not try this at home, people. Daniel Negreanu could have been a lot bigger, but the pot ends up only being about $20,000, as we can see. So Daniel, momentum is on his side. He is absolutely dominating so far in our match today. Looks to be up about maybe 3 buy-ins so far. $120,000 for Daniel Negreanu.
Looks like some three buy-in victories so far.
Yeah, I mean, this
But
is...
it's heads up, like in 30 minutes, Doug could be up 5 buy-ins. He could be down 10 buy-ins.
Yeah, you'd think that, but we haven't seen Daniel getting really out of line in these massive pots. And of course, last time we only saw maybe 500, 600, 700 hands. And so we haven't seen a ton of hands, but it didn't seem like Negreanu was going out of his way to make a lot of really big bluffs in river spots.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'd be hard for Doug to be able to win a bunch of big pots if that's the case. He's got to hit a few coolers. I mean, we've kind of seen that happen so far.
I think at the end of the day, Daniel's just going to stick with his strategy, and if big pots need to happen where he has to take aggressive action, he's definitely going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also really hard to get the money in non 3 and 4 bet pots.
Right, yeah.
Just because in single race pots, the stack depth is so deep and ranges are so wide that it's hard for both players to have continues all the way down to the river. And then someone has an aggressive action, and then the defender also has to make a call.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to really get 200 big blind pots from single race pots.
Yeah.
Because most of the hands heads up are naturally going to be single race pots.
Well, here we go. Left-hand side. Daniel raises the turn. Bets 2/3 pot on the river. So he raises the turn. Looks like he's representing a 5 here. The flush does get in. Doug could have top pairs. He's going to have some straight draws, some flush draws. So Doug is tanking down 2/3 pot bet. You want some water right there? It's right there.
Oh, man.
Cool. Let's see. What is Doug going to do here? Doug Polk, momentum is not on his side. He's already lost a few pots. Maybe might be less inclined to go for a bluff here if he was thinking about potentially bluffing. He does call, and Negreanu shows up with a 6-7. Very interesting line from Kid Poker, Daniel Negreanu. Makes the flush there. Let's pull that hand up here, Kid Poker, Landon. Let's see what went on here. Very interesting hand. Okay. Let me get this. Another 3-bet here, and Daniel takes it down. All signs are going Daniel Negreanu's way right now. So here we go. We can see this hand. Let me pull it down here to the left. I don't like it. It's too small for my liking here. But
Yeah.
I said we got to figure this whole replay situation out. So flop, Daniel Negreanu checks back 6-7 of diamonds, backdoor straight draw, and he's got the flush draw. The turn, Doug leads, and Daniel decides to raise. Very interesting. He does block the 5-6 combinations, 5-7.
Well, he doesn't because he has 5-6 of diamonds.
Who does?
Daniel.
No, he's got 6-7.
Right. So 5-6 of diamonds is already gone.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And
Yeah.
5-6 of clubs is also already gone.
Is he raising 5-6 offsuit pre-flop?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
So I think he does have some 5x combos here. And
Mhm.
also, this is a really good combo to have. I think there might be some small little difference between having clubs in the spot and diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do see... Did he see bet flop, correct?
No, he checked
Flop on
back
check
the flop.
back? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So most of his flush draws are going to want to bet flop, and he also wants to have some protective checks. Like a hand like this is a good one to check back sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, having 7 high with a lot of equity and no inherent showdown, you can also obviously play a bet here. And on the turn, he unblocks one draw while also having equity for his bluff, to where most of his queen jacks are probably going to be c-betting the flop.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to have some sneaky hands like this at some percentage.
And you think on the turn, so on the turn, if he has 7-8, is that less likely of a raise? Or 6-7 a better hand to raise the turn with versus 7-8 or 8-9 with a flush draw?
I think
Diamonds.
6-7 is nice because it blocks Doug's 5-7 offs and
Right.
5-6 offs,
Okay.
which is a nice little thing to have.
Yeah, well, it was subtle difference there, right? But,
Right.
but relevant in terms of when it comes down to the fine part of the ranges, those kind of borderline decisions.
Right.
So right-hand side, Doug does 3-bet, and Daniel calls 7-8-9 board. Doug is going to go ahead check. Daniel laying the stick down so far, man. This guy is crushing it. 160. This is the biggest stack we've seen so far on any of these tables in the last 2 sessions. Let's see what happens on the right-hand side. 3-bet pre-flop, check, check, flop, check turn by Doug Polk on the king of clubs. Checks it again. Backdoor flush gets in. 10 gets there for the straight. This was the match for the challenge. Results are on the bottom side. This was coming into it. Results today appear to be very well in Daniel Negreanu's side. He appears to be up about maybe 3.5 buy-ins so far. Right-hand side, Doug, 3-bets, queen 9 offsuit. What's happening here, Landon? What's up with these? These are normal hands?
These are-
3-bet?
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Completely
Not
normal hands.
nothing too crazy, right?
Yeah, that was a really, really standard hand.
Okay. Just making sure. So
Just-
Daniel or Doug, I kind of want to put it there, right? I just, you know what I mean? I don't like it's too small in the corner. Can you guys see the replayer in the corner?
This is your show, Joey.
Yeah, I know. So Doug 3-bets queen 9 offsuit, doesn't c-bet flop, doesn't c-bet the top pair, check, check, turn, and then Daniel makes the jack on the river, just shows it down. What do you think about a value bet from Daniel possibly on that river with the queen jack?
It's tough on a 4 straight because Doug's also going to check 10x here because he knows that a 10's way better for Daniel. Daniel is mostly going to be stabbing his 10x's on the flop for like a 1/3 sizing or less, but he's also going to have some checkbacks as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that most of the time checking back this makes a lot of sense.
Interesting.
It's really hard to get paid by worse to some extent.
Mm-hmm. Well, here we go, man. Daniel is on his side, right-hand side. Doug bets small on the turn. Daniel just calls. Flush gets there on the river. My man Ben Jackson, what's up, buddy? Big J, Jamin Burton in the chat. What's up, guys? What's happening? What's going on? Nice to see you. Right-hand side, Doug with another big bet.
That's trips.
Trip 8's our first pot for Doug Polk. A little something, a little momentum back on his side. $8,000 pot goes Doug Polk's way, left-hand side. Daniel, quick 3-bet. Doug, quick fold. At least he's playing fast right now. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, someone said maybe I can sacrifice one table on the replayer. I want to see a bigger replay. I like these replayed hands, man. You get to see Landon break it down. Break it down, kid. Break it down, kid, Landon. Break it down a little bit. Give him a little spice. Give him a little something like that. How you feeling today? You tired?
Feeling good today.
Yeah?
Yeah, feeling
That's
good.
good, man. A little rested up. Not on, yeah, I mean, you did well for your first day commentary. So the first time me and Landon did commentary ever was, I mean, we've kind of like went over hands before. We've talked a lot of poker. We've talked just a lot in general.
Yeah.
I think what it made me realize is that it's very, I underestimated how important it is to have a really good relationship with someone you do commentary with, especially if you can joke around with them and you understand how the depth of strategy they can get to and you understand the questions that you can ask. And I think it makes it more of like a casual, playful banter, but also able to deliver strategy. And it's not as like rigid and professional and like seems sort of inauthentic and like fake kind of, which is how most commentary is. So I think it's, I really underestimated how good it is to have a relationship with the person you're doing commentary with. So that was, yeah, man, people were all fired up. They were excited to see the comments they were leaving. Yeah. Man. They said, what did Biffer say? What is this carrot? You don't look like Carrot Top, dude. That's like the weirdest. Carrot Top is on fucking steroid out of his mind. Look at this. You do not look like Carrot Top, guys. Let me pull up Carrot Top for anyone out there to see what this fucking dude looks like. Okay, I guess I mean, I don't. Huh.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, maybe.
Fuck it, why not?
I mean, he's got muscles, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I'm... Let me just real quick here, guys. Can we see it or what? Yeah, I guess I
think the chat.
Not really.
Can see
No,
it.
it's not even that red. It seems like
It's not that red. But
yeah, I don't.
The chat's
see
gonna love this.
I don't see the Carrot Top reference at all.
The chat's gonna love this.
I don't see it at all. These people are just going crazy. I always get a lot of people in the chat who are always saying, they said me and you look like brothers. If you shaved your hair off, we would look like brothers. I guess I can see that.
Why not?
Slightly racist comment too by those guys. But, I mean, I see where they're coming from with that, right? Why we look like brothers? Because we're both. I mean, come on. Whatever, sensitive subject 2020. Let's move on past that. Right hand side, Doug Polk 3-bets pre-flop. Lockdown coming. You ready for the lockdown, kid?
Sure.
Yeah, man. You get more online poker for you, huh? You don't care. Online poker, wake up, play. You don't got a job to go to. They ain't shutting down your business, are they? They ain't shutting down your school. You got to take care of your kids at home. Can you imagine having your kids at home all fucking day? Oh my God, that sounds. I mean, it sounds great in some capacity, but people need their spaces out there. Yeah, every day. I mean, get to school, buddy.
Every day.
My God, these kids are going to be on TikTok all day long. Whoop, 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 whoop. Look at that dance. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I mean, I'm on TikTok. My TikToks are only spiritual, business, investing, and finance GTO strategies. That's all mine is. I got rid of all those the people doing the dance.
Doing the renegade on you.
Oh, woo. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so
What do you
fucking
mean?
stupid.
I mean, we do that shit all the time. Just not on TikTok.
Yeah, do you see? It's like they put on a song and it's like a girl not wearing many, and she's like, woo, 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 woo. And then it's like, oh, we love it!
Yeah.
We love it! It's so cool! And you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then like a brand's like, I'll give you $10,000 to post my drink in the background. And they're like, yeah, okay. And it's like, woo, woo, woo. And they drink the drink. I mean, that's content these days. I'm in the wrong fucking business here, man.
Joey,
left-hand table, Negreanu.
Joe, you just jealous like you don't get these sponsorships for these
I
drinks?
could definitely, listen, I could 100% make a TikTok where I only dance and I would crush. I'd make a prop bet right now. I only do dances on TikTok and I would dominate. It's so easy, man. So left-hand side. Another big pot goes to this guy is killing it right now. Top
queens.
set. That shouldn't even be a legal hand to have right there. Top set for Daniel Negreanu. Takes the pot down. Ay. Joey, how fast could you get 1 million followers on TikTok? I think
like
I could. You just basically
like a year?
No, like a couple months.
Wow.
Yeah, because basically what you do is you just go study the people that have 1 million followers in their accounts. You pick one of the niches or genres in terms of how those people are doing it, and then you make content like those. So you hop on trends, you collaborate with other influencers. The formula to getting successful on any platform is quite easy. You deliver value and or you create content that, I mean, too much strategy there.
You're just giving away the straws to say.
I know, it is what
just giving it all away.
Yeah, Bitcoin's also crushing out there, guys. Poker players, the high stakes games are rocking right now because Bitcoin is up about 100% since May. think the last time I saw it was about $18,000. It started off about 10.3K about 2 months ago. So if you're into the asset investing business, Bitcoin is absolutely dominating right now. So it's quite interesting to see. So here we go, a couple small pots right now. Left-hand side, Doug.
2/3 pot on the 4 flush. 4 straight.
See what Daniel's going to do. 177,000 in his stack. Doug Polk getting the beat down right now. Takes it down. Tom Dwan looks like a science teacher. Is that true? Eric says there's no value on TikTok. Listen, I'm on this app called Clubhouse, and it's one of the greatest apps I've ever seen because it's basically a bunch of people that are doing very well in their fields and people trying to make it. And I have these group chats with a lot of the TikTok people who have big audiences or they work in digital marketing companies. They specialize in TikTok promotions and connecting brands to influencers. And there is some interesting things happening out there in the world, man. The world is changing. If you have a product or a service, you basically can choose one of the platforms, grind your strategy very hard, attract attention, deliver value to your customers, find out who your customer market is, create content for your market, and then, refine your strategy, refine your process, refine your system, and you'll be able to make some money for yourself depending on what you want to do. Or you can be like Landon, you can study with poker all day long, and you can crush poker, man. What's your goals for yourself with poker?
Not sure.
Yeah, keep playing while you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Having a lot of fun right now. Maybe play this tournament on Friday. The Venetian has like a 1600.
Okay. So you're going to try to win it again? There we go. Right-hand side.
See.
Yeah, right-hand side. Daniel 3-bets pre-flop. Doug just called 2/3 pot. Doug folds pretty quickly. Daniel, another pot goes his way. Captain Caveman, much love, brother. Joey, glad you're back. Amazing, fun content. Keep up the great work and just have fun. I definitely have a lot more content coming here, guys. I'm going to do a video on my man Chance Corneth for the Galfon Challenge. I'm going to make like a story of Chance Corneth, kind of give you guys a little backstory on who he is. And I think he's winning the Galfon Challenge right now against Phil. You been following that at all?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Just grinding the hold'em.
Yeah.
Yeah. Left-hand table, Daniel, another pot goes his way. Right-hand table, Daniel 3-bets pre-flop, checks the 10-8 3 board. See what goes on here. Johnny says, the thing is most of Doug's winnings are going to be made up of winnings without showdown. So not going to win as much at showdown. Winning is slower than showdown winnings. Heaters aren't as much. Agree or disagree with that?
I think there's merit to it. Because when you do bluff, you won't like them to fold because you win the pot that's already created.
Okay,
And then when you are having the showdown value and you want them to get called, you're winning bigger pots by default when you have the goods, so to speak.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Daniel 3-bets, left-hand table, $175,000 in the mix. Doug Polk getting pushed around right now. He does call. Flops Jack 10-5, 2 spades. See what goes on here. We're seeing a little bit of spicy play today, aren't we? Some check raises in spots that we might not have seen in the last match. Daniel checks once again. See what Doug does. Doug goes a bet. Now we're seeing some really sizes and lines we haven't seen quite yet. Goes with the smaller than a quarter pot. What do you think about that, Landon?
I think it's pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. Daniel does check call. So he 3-bets pre-flop, check calls. What do you expect Daniel to show up here with? Ace highs, overcards, jacks, 10s.
Things of that nature, yeah.
Yeah. See what Doug does here.
Some ace kings sometimes.
You think Javier has a 5?
You can have some 5s, like 5-6, 5-7.
So Doug bets pretty big, 9,400.
This is interesting. Normally on flush completing turns, you don't really bet as big, but I'm sure he's done enough work and has his reasons and gets jammed on.
All in, snap fold. Aye. What is going on here today? The truck is listen, the truck is blowing out a couple tires there. You can see right now, Doug Polk driving his truck. No. The truck comes crashing down. Doug Polk, just like that, loses another pot. Negreanu is up to $194,000. Does it feel like Doug might be playing a little bit too aggressive today, Landon?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell when you can't see the cards.
Mhm.
But Doug does play his ranges very aggressively and does like to put money in the pot. So, nothing new from Doug.
Yeah,
Things just
nothing
aren't
new.
going his way at the moment.
So at some point, do you maybe decide maybe I need to dial it back a little bit? Does that ever come into your thought process if things aren't maybe going your way and if the momentum's not on your side?
I'm sure momentum has a lot to play. Doug had a set on the turn there in River 4 straight, which is unfortunate for him.
Yeah, running bad today, man, for Doug.
But yeah, momentum definitely takes its role where there are some times when you lose a bunch of pots, so you either lean too aggressive or too passive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard to balance frequencies anyways in the first place. That just gets even more difficult when things aren't going your way.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you start to either doubt yourself or you start to overcompensate. But I don't think Doug has this problem at all because he just played too much heads up.
You think so? You think even
Doug's
the
had
best
swings
players?
like this all day, yeah.
Yeah.
Even the, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I just, I would think that if it starts off like this and you're losing a few buy-ins, even the most mentally strong people might start to make adjustments in their game or lose some confidence in their decisions.
Yeah, and I guess at the end of the day, what matters most is kind of just having overall confidence in your strategy
Mm-hmm.
and your process of making plays that you think is correct. And long story short, at the end of the challenge, we're going to kind of see a little bit of what's going on, and even so, 25,000 hands and in heads up could go anyway,
Mm-hmm.
especially if Daniel's playing better than Doug expected him to. Like I'm pretty sure Doug expected it to not be as difficult in some ways because Daniel is putting up quite a fight. So
Yeah,
to speak.
I mean,
at least early.
Yeah, it definitely is so early so far. Right-hand table, I think Daniel check raised that turn, or check raise flop rather. Checks turn, checks river.
So Daniel's not going to check raise with that many 9Xs on the flop, which makes sense for him to check a lot on the 9 turn.
So is he going to be raising check raising flush draws?
Flush draws, King X, and hands of that nature, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Doug does go ahead and bets the river, 4,800 and 7,200. So Doug takes down a little pot. 12,000 goes his way. He's up a little bit there, but right now, guys, not going Doug Polk's way. He's down about 160 maybe, $170,000 so far. So Daniel Negreanu is having his way with Doug Polk on day 7 of the match. 2,374 hands played up until this point. Doug Polk had a $67,000 lead. Not that much in terms of buy-ins. You might see that and say that's a big number, but they're playing 200, 400. The buy-in's $40,000. So he's only up about a buy-in and a half, which after 2,300 hands, to me, that kind of seems like they're pretty even. But, it's still a long way to go. We have at least 12,500 hands being played in this match. And there's a good chance, as we're seeing things now, it's probably going to be 25,000. So very surprised, I think, a lot of people out there that Daniel Negreanu has been able to hold his own. And, hold his own so far, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, heads up variance in any given day is brutal sometimes,
Mhm.
and Daniel's on the positive end of it. And
Yeah, he's been running well today.
yeah.
Right-hand
And
side.
he's also been playing pretty well, too. Like he's also been inducing bluffs from Daniel,
Mhm.
finding the all-in over Doug's overbet on the board where Doug had more king queens. And Daniel looks like he's playing pretty well.
Mm-hmm. So right-hand side, Doug takes down a little pot there. Left-hand side, we go to a river. Flush misses. Doug has the jack. Doesn't decide to value bet that jack. Daniel has the third pair with the 8. And Doug takes down a little pot. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. What's going on, guys? Coxie, 2 Foxy. What's up? What's up? Tom, what's going on? Tom Strang. Andrew Wilson out there. Taylor, Chad, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is my second day back on the YouTube streets. Very happy to be back, man. It's good to be back doing commentary. You guys can thank Landon, actually, because Landon, me and him got dinner the other day, and he was like, are we going to do commentary on the Doug thing? I was like, man, I'm on break. Like, I'm working on a couple other projects. So I helped make a music video. Do you know I helped make you? I mean, you know I helped make it. You know I helped make it. I helped make and produce a music video. My buddy Mark is a Vegas DJ out here at Omni on Hakkasan, and the nightclubs are shut down. So he decided to make some more music. And my buddy Jonah, the Wizard, put a team together to help release a couple songs. So one of them was a music video called Clowns that I helped with the vision and the ideas for. We got a camera guy out here. It was nice. There's a few ladies in the video. And listen, this clown mask. I don't know. I'll show you guys it, but it was pretty fun to be involved with that. I didn't really work on the editing later. I did work on the ideas in terms of setting the scene and what exactly would be on the camera. But it's a fun video. It's a fun song. It's more like tech house, I think it's what it's called. The genre is called. I don't really listen to much Tech House though. Left-hand side, nothing happening there. Should we put the Nolan Hold'em hat on? What do you think?
Yeah.
You think we need it? All right, I'll put it on, man. You look good with the Hold'em hat. You know
Do
that?
I?
Yeah, you look great with that Hold'em hat.
I do enjoy the hat.
Put it on. Maybe that'll change it around. I know people say we're biased for Doug around here, but I mean, when you're friends with one guy for 12 years, and when you're
Not so much.
when you're
fun.
off and on with Dane Negreanu for 5 years, right? I mean, who am I going to go with? Right hand side, D-Negs, another 4-bet, 10,000 Nolan Hold'em hats on, guys. Get your Hold'em hats out in the chat if you have a Hold'em hat avatar or emoji or whatever it's called, which they don't have one. Doug lays it down, and Daniel steamrolling right now.
We're still waiting to play our sound effect for Daniel.
Yeah, we have a good one. I mean, I don't know how we haven't played it yet. We're really being patient with this one right here.
Yeah,
You need to understand that everything you do at the poker table
that's not the
conveys
one.
information.
That's level 1.
That's level 1. You're right. That is
Level
that is,
2 is the stock is the full 100 big blinds.
Yeah, once we have another big pot, we're gonna play the debut of our next sound effect. And some of you guys might know it, some of you guys might not. But if you do know it, then you're in for a treat. If you're on Twitter, you're absolutely gonna know what
You're
this
gonna
one
be
is.
pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, you'll be pleasantly surprised for sure. So D-Negs right now, absolutely crushing it. $195,000 chip stack on the left-hand side. Well, Anon says, wow, Doug is just not playing well today. Are we able to
I don't know how true that is.
decipher anything like that, right?
Nope.
No, I don't think so. Okay.
Sometimes you just are forced to lose big pots, and therein lies the nature of the game. But the Jack 10 of Hearts hand is a little bit interesting, especially with the flop raise and then the turn bet. But it's really hard to make that many mistakes for many, many big blinds when you do have a hand with that much equity.
Right, yeah.
Like your overall range, and you could be losing some EV for sure, but I don't think he's losing anywhere near more than a big blind or so.
Interesting, okay.
At least in a theoretical sense.
People want to switch to Potman Omaha already. Listen, we're not switching to PLO quite yet. The great game, Potman Omaha, will come at another time. Doug picks up a little pot. D-Nag sitting out here. Maybe giving Doug a little time to rest. Get some water, take a bathroom break, maybe get some fruit, maybe stretch out, do some high knees or something like that. Keep that six-pack in order. Six-pack Polk, they call him that for a reason, man. So Daniel Negreanu taking our first break of the day here, guys. And we talked about last time that tournament you took down, man. Are you planning to play more live tournaments? So Landon played his first live tournament in Vegas, took it down, $1,100 MSPT event, $200,000 first place. We were there on the rail, 3 a.m. It was an intense rail.
I'm glad you came out.
Thank you. It was fun.
You had to come out.
I had to come out for your first. I said I was driving back from Los Angeles. I said if you final table it, then I will come rail it. Little did I know of course you would final table it as a chip leader. Of course, why wouldn't you? And I went down there. It's 3 a.m. I got to be up early the next day. I was like, man.
We both did.
I know.
The commentary.
Yeah. And you took it down. So you planning to play more live? I mean, now how do you going to think about it? Because you're playing a lot of high stakes cash online. You're playing tournaments online. You're playing tournaments live. Do you feel like trying to manage all that might be something that might work against you in terms of having success? I feel like you can handle all the formats. Take any format on, you can handle it.
I think it's helped me actually kind of playing more things, especially from just a no limit sense, because the more I learn about one game, the more I learn about another, because there's some properties that do translate over, because at the end of the day, poker, like stack to pot is always going to be something in no limit. So every single format of no limit is going to have a stack to pot, and tournaments are naturally going to have lower stack to pots when you have less blinds. So learning about that also helps learn in 3-bet pots in some capacity, which then helps my overall holistic approach on how I see the game.
Interesting, makes sense. So sounds like you're ready to battle in any format then. Tournaments or cash games, heads up.
I'd like to.
Yeah. Well, listen, we got Poker Mountains on the way, guys. That's all I want to say. And if you want to play against the kid Landon, I'm gonna be doing some interviews and some conversations with people to see if they want to come battle Landon on Poker Mountain. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna be crazy.
That'd be great. We need to make it happen.
Well, it's gonna be insane. It's definitely happening. It's gonna be insane. It's in the works right now. It's gonna be crazy. I can't wait. The match is back on here. UK Mark J. Hey Joe, think your content's great. Good analysis. But Landon, keep up the great work, and let's hope for the trucks to remain on the roads. Yes, my friends. Who are you guys rooting for out there in the chat? Press 1. I'm gonna forget. Just put the names. Put Daniel or put Doug. Who are you guys rooting for?
1 for Daniel, 2 for Doug.
Did you know that Shelby actually got a prop for this event?
What do you mean?
Shelby, can you want to get the prop? Shelby picked up something, and I saw it. I was like, "What'd you get that for?" And then she said, "Oh, it's for the show." So we'll play the prop next time. Next time, you ready for this?
I'm not ready for this.
You might be ready for it, man. We'll see what happens. I want to see Landon play Mike Matusow heads up. Interesting. You think Mike? You and Mike? Should we get Mike Matusow on Poker Mountain?
I would love to play Mike.
Okay, we can get him up there. People in the chat, who are you guys rooting for? Doug or Daniel? A lot of Dougs. A lot of Dougs. Some Daniels too. A lot of Daniels actually.
Looks like 4-1, Doug. Looks like 4-1. People want Doug.
Yeah, I think a lot of people out there are rooting for Doug Polk. Of course,
We gotta vote for Vanessa Selfs, of course.
Of course, yeah. The meme that will never die.
It is a legendary meme.
I know it really is, yeah. Why are people putting 420? What is this? Strange chat sometimes, man. Shout out to all my chatters out there. Nothing going on here, guys. Doug still trying to get above starting stack.
It's not a tournament, Joey.
Well, kind of. $40,000 starting stack kind of is a
Starting
tournament
stack.
to me, man. Listen, I'm trying to put it in relatable terms the guys can understand the chat. I understand it's not a starting stack, but all people out there have different levels of perception when it comes to watching the poker game.
We
try to give it to another top set for Daniel Negreanu with pocket queens. What the hell happened? Did he not 3-bet that hand? What went on there? So what happened here?
He did just call.
What the hell happened there? Daniel just calls with the queen's preflop. I don't know what's going on here.
He's setting the
He
twigs.
check calls with top set. Is he? I mean,
He's laying the twigs and branches.
it's one way. I mean, hey, you never be too careful. Right hand side, Doug takes down a pot with the 5-8. Left hand side, 3-bet by Doug Polk. Queen 4-4 board. Doug's an continuation bet. Strange play, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
very
out of
tricky.
out of the ordinary.
Tricky with the top set. I mean, I guess when you just call preflop with pocket queens and you flop top set, maybe you want to just call again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do block the top pairs from continuing,
right. That's
so
true.
it doesn't make a lot of sense to call.
So left hand side, c-bet by Doug. Daniel calls. Queen 4-4, turn jack. What do you think Daniel has here? Queens, fours, pairs lower than queen?
Yeah, I can have under pairs to the queen for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's going for a small bet on the turn, which is quite an annoying little bet for Doug to deal with.
Very, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fuck you bets are back.
So what do you when you check call here? You check call any queen, any jack,
Yeah.
some maybe gut shots, under pairs if you have it.
Definitely.
Okay. So Doug does check call. River pairs the board is the queen. So if Daniel has a 4, he's happy as a full house, but he's probably not loving it now when that board does pair. Doug certainly does have. They both have queens, right?
They both have some reasonable amounts of queens.
Mm-hmm. So Doug shows down pocket 9s, and he's going to win $19,000 pot. So Daniel Negreanu has no 4, has no queen there. Interesting hand by both players. Right hand side, Doug 3-bets once again. C-bets 2,300. That pot, what do you think about that hand right there with pocket 9s? Pretty normal C-bets. Oh, raise on the right hand table.
Ooh.
These guys are getting after it today. Negreanu, small raise, $2,300 bet, $7,000 raise, king 6 deuce. putting each other in some spots today, huh?
Yeah. I think this is something that people don't find too much. Wow, a 3-bet, a min 3-bet,
A min 3-bet
Not a
by
min
Doug
3-bet,
Polk. I mean,
but,
basically, yeah.
a 2x 3-bet.
We might have our first truck. I mean, the truck might get backed up
Our-
today, and he lays it
no.
down. Nice hand by
Wow.
Doug Polk. What is happening here? These two are getting after it. King 6 deuce. Your opponent re-raises. You put him on what? Very strong hand, right? Flush draws, ace king.
Hands with equity for sure.
Yeah, yeah. If you are bluffing there, what hands would you choose to potentially bluff it?
On king 6 deuce,
Mhm.
hands like the obvious ones that come to mind are like 4 5 of diamonds,
Mhm.
and then some hands with backdoors like ace X of hearts in some capacity blocking the ace kings,
Interesting.
and hands that block Doug's value but also don't have that much showdown and can pick up equity on later streets are normally good hands to do it with. And also sometimes you want to have a hand that like blocks a set, which is nice,
Mhm.
and you also just have the equity of having a 5-out draw if you do get called with a hand like maybe 6-5 of hearts with a backdoor straight draw and a pair.
Interesting.
Could be something that could get in there a small amount of the time,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely a hand that I would vastly call versus raise.
Interesting. Well, we just saw Daniel take down another pot with a bluff catch. So Daniel Negreanu is in control. Left-hand table. He is crushing it. Doug making a little comeback on the right-hand side. Right-hand table. Daniel. Value bets the river 2,100 to 2,800. Doug lays it down. Shout out Nasty Nate in the chat from Cincinnati. What's up, buddy? What's going on, Nasty Nate? How's it going out there? Andrew Wilson, what's up, Andrew? Chalo Baragan, what's up? Chalo, how's it going? Kid Poker Challenge, back up the truck, exactly. So left-hand side, river comes down, flush misses. Backdoor trip draw gets in there. Deuce 3 makes backdoor trips. Scary hand to have.
Yes.
What's Dan going to do? Bet's pretty big, 2,600. Snap calls. Doug with the snap call with the 4.
Doug did not believe.
Yeah, that is not believer right there. As you can see, a little something back for Doug Polk. So Daniel, pretty. What do you think about that play? Pretty normal play, in terms of turning that 6-10 missed flush draw into a bluff.
I think there's going to be a lot of bluffing with his hand on the river. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he flop goes check. Turn, he just calls with the 6-10 of spades. River comes down, goes for about 2/3 pot, it looks like, and gets called pretty quickly by the 4-9. So Doug Polk was not a believer there.
So I think that Doug was probably under the impression that Daniel would not be value betting a jack for this size, and he didn't think that he had an ace very clearly. So he decided that he was repping a really strong hand, like an ace or nothing, and he clearly didn't think that he had enough aces to justify a fold. So we ended up finding a call there.
Yeah, makes sense. Nice hand by...
I like the way he made these tables, by the way.
Look good? Look better today?
Yeah.
Listen, man, by the end of these streams, this
it's going to be
production's-
iconic.
I'm gonna have 6 people working with me on making this show look as beautiful as it can. God bless America. And listen, man. God bless America. DC says, Joe, no self-respecting person would be caught dead wearing a hat like that. This is the Texas Hold'em hat. We only wear it to play Texas Hold'em or if we're at a nightclub and we're getting out of line, okay? And that is very false. I don't know where the hell you hang out at in Chicago, but it sounds like you're hanging out at some strange places because they are rocking hats like this all over the tri-state area, my friend.
Right.
So get your fucking facts straight. The Nolan Hold'em hat is here to party.
It's here to stay.
And Daniel Negreanu is here to party with a 4-bet again on the left-hand side here. Doug's just going to call, and we got a 10-6-3 board. We are going to see a big pot here. This could go Daniel Negreanu's way. It could be over 200,000 in his chip stack if he takes this down. So Negreanu 4-bets. We've seen him 4-bet at a pretty nice frequency so far this match. Doug calls. I think one of the first 4-bet out of position calls we've seen from a Doug Polk. And Daniel goes with that 4,400 bet into 21,000 and takes it down. Daniel Negreanu closing in on a 200,000 chip stack. The truck is not delivering the money to the bank today.
The truck is indeed going forward.
You need to
It is
understand
not
that
backing
everything
up.
you do at the poker table conveys information. You can't be like all loosey-goosey having a sandwich, being on your phone. Woohoo, baby, I love it.
This
There's
dance.
3 basic characteristics that make an elite poker player.
Uh-oh.
One is just a raw skill. The other is fundamental understanding of the mathematical side.
Uh-oh.
The third part is what I call discipline.
Discipline, huh? You
Discipline.
agree or disagree? Three parts? Discipline?
Discipline is really important.
Mathematics? Yeah.
Math?
Math, yeah. Understand numbers?
I think math is important, and then once you get to a high enough level, you understand pretty quickly like pot odds and stuff and the odds that you're given.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm not specifically counting out the percentage of the pot I'm having every time.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just eyeball the pot and say, okay, he's betting 1/3 pot. I need to call a decent amount of the time.
Makes sense.
And if he bets pot, I have to call less.
So it sounds like we're ready for your masterclass.
No.
My name's Landon Tice, and this is my masterclass. Listen,
Bum,
buddy,
bum,
with the
bum,
marketing,
bum,
with the
bum.
marketing I'm doing, we could charge your masterclass about $10,000, I think, right now, man. 10K? What do you think?
Well, they could just
Would
like,
you put if we made a course and you charged 10,000, would you do it?
No.
No, you wouldn't do it. Man, you're a greedy motherfucker, man.
No,
Trying to
no,
keep all that
not-
knowledge for yourself. What's going on here?
Not because it's $10,000, it's because I don't want to make a course.
Why not?
It's a lot of work.
I'm just trying. I mean, it is a lot
It's
of
a lot
work.
of
These
work,
guys
man.
work on these courses for
I
months.
just want to have fun.
Then they come out and then someone's like, course sucks. It's not good. The guy's slaved away for 3 months on his computer going through number. 25%,
Dun, dun,
50%.
dun, dun.
And all right, and he makes a video, records it 10 times. I mean, it's a shit. You know, I empathize with these guys. Everyone's got a course these days, Landon. My God, man.
It's true.
Everyone's got a course. This guy's got a course. This guy's got a product. This guy's got this. But that's the way you make money. If you're a poker player and you're saying, how do I diversify my income streams? First, you might look to coaching. You might look to staking. You might look to coaching for profit. You might try to build a stable. You might put up a course that scales nicely. You release a book. There's a lot of different ways in terms of monetizing your personal brand. So I can understand why poker players would want to do that, to put a little bit of passive income potentially once that product is created, and that product can live on forever. So it makes a lot of sense that a lot of people are doing these courses, especially once it showed how Doug Polk sort of laid out the model for exactly how you would do that, how you would gain attention for your product and gain attention for your brand, and then how you'd be able to create a funnel and convert on that funnel. And yeah, I mean, you can just study the upswing poker model if you want to get better at that part of things, or study. I mean, other people got pretty good training businesses and nice funnels they got going on too for their services. You can study a lot of good technology out there that breaks all these strategies down.
And a lot of good strategy you're saying right now.
Way too much? Yeah. Listen, man, we're deep in the
strategy.
lab, man. Business and investing, we're deep in those labs. Doug Polk, very strange hand happened on the left hand side. He c-bet, got raised small. He calls. Let's see what happens here. Don Bailey, are you? No, I'm not on anything right now. I'm on excitement. I'm on heart. I'm on soul. So check on the left hand side. See what goes on here. Right hand side, Doug Polk 3 bets. Let's see. What is going on? $3,200 bet. Once the flush gets there.
This is a weird
What's going
bet.
on here, man? I don't know.
This is an interesting bet.
What's
Wow.
going on? The nut fly. What the hell's happening?
A small bet.
Can you
He
walk
tried
me
to. I think he
through it?
tried to induce.
Do you think he's trying to induce there?
I think
that
he
very
tried to
small
induce
bet?
a raise. Yeah.
So we can see the flop. Daniel
Well, he
flops.
clearly wasn't folding to a raise.
Yeah.
And most
I
of the
don't
time,
think so.
you don't want to have less than half pot bets on the river in position.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very interesting bet size, and he's definitely trying to induce Doug to perceivably back up a truck.
Yeah, back up that
To
truck.
back that truck up.
So Daniel, very small raise, ace-9 offsuit, top pair, nut flush draw. He's got that Bangkok, and does call, turn 6-6, river jack, and he goes with a little $3,200, trying to induce something from Mr. Overbet Doug Polk. Does not work, but he still takes down a nice size pot, and he is up over $200,000 on the left-hand side. Make boy Finn, D-Negs has, he has, he's
Is
rigged
this
the
the
deck.
first time we've seen over 200,000?
I think
Well, it's the first time you and I have seen
200,000.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. First time I've seen over 200,000 right now. So Negreanu steam rolling ahead and crushing it.
Checking back to Queen Jack 10 is a little bit interesting because Daniel has all the ace kings in range. That
Mhm.
A board like this is one that you might want to have some like really polarizing bets like immediately, and you can go for like an almost 200% pot bet, and then you try to back up your own truck to try to get all the big blinds in. Just leverage the fact that you have ace king here.
Interesting.
And Doug never has a hand like 10s, jacks, and queens because those would be 3-bet pre at a very high percentage.
Yeah, that makes
Almost
sense, right?
like basically pure.
So Doug does check call the turn. Flush gets there on the river. Doug's going to have some jacks, going to have some kings, some flush draws. Daniel bets pretty big, 37.50 into 5,000. And he calls king 3. What's going on?
King 3 is
Holy shit.
King 3 with the spade is one of those hands that you want to bet pretty big on the flop most of the time.
Uh-huh.
And you'd also want to check back some king X's, and this is his worst one. So it does make sense to have some checks, but also having some really big bets with a spade is also really nice too.
So fine play by Daniel, checks back to king 3.
Yeah, I think he played good.
Yep, bets turn, makes a straight on the river and bets it down for value, and Doug does call. So Daniel running very hot on the left-hand side table, $217,000 in his chip stack. How did Daniel get $200,000 in the left table? He won a few all-ins to start off. He was up about $80,000 pretty quickly, maybe 10, 15 minutes into the match. And ever since then, he's just been winning a bunch of $20,000 pots, $30,000 pots. A lot of small pots are going his way. Right-hand side, we're seeing a more competitive match. Nothing really going so far for either player. But yeah, it's not looking good for our man Doug Polk right now. Do you think do you think that Doug might be feeling any sort of maybe like confusion right now? Because it seemed like the way he's talking, he expected to come in here and absolutely steamroll this match, and now he sees Daniel putting up a fight, seeing Daniel playing. Seems like he's playing relatively well in a lot of these situations. Do you feel like Doug might have underestimated what Daniel Negreanu is capable of?
Doug did make a tweet a few days ago about him being not necessarily overly impressed on the way Daniel's playing, but he said that Daniel keeps making less and less mistakes, which obviously for Doug, he would like Daniel to make more and more mistakes. So there might be an awakening of some sorts that the old man that gets caught speeding might just have something in him.
Wow, the great awakening, Daniel Negreanu, happening around the world and happening in the poker world for Daniel.
You never know.
I won't even give a reference to what that's about. Left-hand side, Doug check calls. Backdoor flush gets there. Can Doug get a little momentum on his side? $16,000 pot. What is Doug going to do if he faces a big bet? Daniel does check back, and Doug takes down a small pot with the queen nine. 16,000 goes his way. I don't think Doug was folding any bet there.
He was definitely not folding, no.
Top pair, 9 kicker, call and pray.
Yep.
Roofing Slate says, do you think Daniel has a team standing behind him helping him cheat?
They definitely don't.
No, I don't think so, no.
Well, I know for the match that they had like cameras or things of that nature, or someone go to like each other's houses to make sure there's no funny business.
So they're playing with private cameras where the other person can see? Like they're both watching him in a tank top? Like how's that working out?
I think there's something like that. I'm not entirely sure on the exact details, but you can probably find out for sure.
Doug. Yeah. I'll ask Doug. Left-hand side, another 3-bet here from Doug. See what goes on here. Daniel in the tank, didn't snap fold. He does 4-bet once again, another 4-bet from Kid Poker, Daniel Negreanu.
In this masterclass, I'm going to share things that I've actually never shared before. For example, I look at a guy and say, you've got king 9.
You're a sick human.
Can you just play that when he wins? You're a sick human.
What is Doug going to do? Doug just calls once again, ace 5-4 board.
So this board is actually a board that Doug could do some leading on.
Okay.
Because he connects way more with these lower cards than Daniel does when he 4-bets. It's funny, I actually looked at a board like this like a week ago in a heads-up spot to where there are a lot of leads, like 20% of the time.
Interesting. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm scared to put the truck backing up in play because we have not seen much.
Doug is also trap calling aces pre.
Interesting. Okay.
So Doug is never having ace X in range, but there are some leads here, which is actually really interesting when I looked at this.
That is interesting. Is it at only 100 big blind deep?
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. So Daniel checks back, ace 5-4 deuce. Daniel 4,400 snap folds, and Daniel Negreanu is absolutely. I mean, we just got to play it just because, man. Listen, this truck's blowing out multiple tires here, guys. Look at the poor truck. The poor truck is just going. Look at this poor truck.
No.
My God. Come on. Oh my God.
It does do a little drift at the end.
The truck is absolutely out of control. I mean,
it's got some Tokyo drift going.
It's got a little Tokyo. If you know,
that sounds a fucking banger.
If you see me, then you hear me. Fast and furious. Drift, fast and furious. Do we need to just pull the horn a little bit? Maybe we try to send some Doug Polk some Vuju or Moju or something like that. I don't know what's happening here, man. Just give him a lot of please. The truck drivers are rooting you on, Doug Polk. The truck drivers of America, the ones that have not been automated out of their jobs yet, are cheering for you, Doug Polk. The automated robot-only trucks are coming, my friends. If you're a truck driver now, start diversifying your skills. Otherwise, you're going to be out of your job. Make sure you saved your money and put it in your 401k. My friends, make sure you're investing that money in a nice asset that's going to return you back some money, because you're going to be out of a job soon when the automatic truck drivers take over the world. And they change the logistics scene all around the United States of America. Left-hand side, Doug bet calls the turn. River is the king. Daniel Negreanu telling him he's got trip queens. It's not looking good, huh?
We're about to find out.
We're about to find out
Maybe
right now.
Daniel goes for that all in.
You think he might go? We haven't seen it yet. Poker Police, donation, $4.99. Thank you very much. 2 Mega Brains commenting. Thank you, Poker Police. Thank you very much.
Wow, he checks back. Doug trapped with the queen.
Doug, little pot. The horns are getting in gear.
Did you just send him the energy, Joey? Sending him the energy. I feel like you're gonna fucking hit me.
Pull it down! It's coming back! He's coming back to party. Listen, man. We're rooting for Doug.
Douglas K bets the truck.
We don't want to see Doug getting beat down like in the back. You know what I'm saying? He's getting beat down right now, man. He needs his energy. He needs some help. He needs some assistance. Just like Daniel. We send Daniel some energy too, right? We'll get him a Coke can or something like that. We'll send it his way if he needs it.
A warm Coke.
Baby, where's that warm Coke at? She's got to bring she's got something for Daniel here when Daniel wins a pot, man. Left-hand side, another 3-bet. Negreanu.
Is Shelby just waiting to bring out the prop?
I don't know where. I don't know. She's probably just like trading stock,
Shelby's in the
trading
chat.
options,
She's
something
in
like
the-
that. I know
she's-
she's. Shelby, we need the prop. AS says any neutral feed. I mean, we are neutral around here. We're rooting for both sides to do really well today, but we're definitely rooting for Doug. He's a friend of mine. I don't know. These people are crazy. Minds, man. They're crazy.
You're answering the wrong comments, Joey.
They're crazy. Oh, that's true. That's true. Left-hand side, Doug calls a 3-bet pre-flop, checks back the flop. Daniel bets about a little big bet on the turn. River comes down. Let's see what Doug Polk is going to do if he faces a bet from Daniel. Shout out to Finlay McMillan. Thank you very much, buddy. So Daniel checks. Thank you. Let's see what goes down here. Daniel shows up with the 6-7, takes down another pot. $20,000 goes Kids Poker's way. He's back up, gets that chip back that he lost with the Queen
Quads
10.
for Doug.
Quads for Doug Polk on the right-hand side, a $25,000 pot. Doug Polk, a little bit of momentum on his side right now. $65,000 chip stack. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Dun, 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 dun,
Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bow. Shout out to Crusoe in the chat. What's up, buddy? How's it going? Juan Pena. What's happening, Juan? Left-hand side. Doug check calls. Turns a 9 of clubs. Landon getting stretched out a little bit.
Yeah.
Doug bets, or Daniel bets again. And Doug lays it down. Nice hand for Daniel. How you feeling?
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big week this week. You got your fam coming out for Thanksgiving. You excited about that?
Yeah.
Your family's going to come visit Vegas.
For the first
Your family
time.
and my family get to have a nice interaction between my little brother, Tutu Andrew Cole, a.k.a. Big Dog, a.k.a. Yardstick, a.k.a. Stallion, a.k.a. Kloss, a.k.a. Handy, a.k.a. Little Bro. You two get to stand side by. I mean, it's going to be weird. We're going to take a photo, me, you, and my little brother. You guys are both the same age.
Really?
Yeah, and he's another tall guy too, so it'll be interesting.
That's 22 Andrew Cool right there.
Yeah, Tutu Andrew Cole, a.k.a. Big Dog, a.k.a. Yardstick, a.k.a. Stallion. Don Bailey said, Joey, who hired you, Doug or D-Negs or Amanda? None of those people hired
I'll
me
be
for
right back.
anything right now.
Do your thing. I'll be right back.
You want to use the bottle? Kid Landon's got to go to the bathroom right now. Izzy says, Joey, what do you think about Polk, Ryan, Apollo beef? Care to comment? Not really, no. I mean, there's always going to be a lot of negative things to focus on in the poker world, so I think I focused on those things for quite a while, and I'm not necessarily going to focus on those as much anymore. But I know a lot of people out there really enjoy that. Left-hand side, Doug with a very small check raise. We haven't seen that yet. So Daniel min bet. Doug made it 949, and Daniel calls. Turn, 1/3 pot bet. See what Daniel does. He does fold. Doug takes down a little pot. Leo Babe says, Joey, whatever happened with Jungle Man and Perkins? Jungle's just hanging out with models in London. Yeah, I mean, if you follow Jungle Man's Instagram story, it looks like he was doing some like torture training. There's a lot of these training programs where basically you go there and it's like I think it's based off the military where they're basically torturing you. They're holding you underwater. They're pushing you to the limits. They're making you stay awake for hours. And I think Jungle Man went and did something like that. And then he started traveling and he's posting a bunch of, I don't know, man. He's like taking improv. He's doing characters. He's hanging out with a bunch of ladies, posting on his Instagram page. The Jungle Man is getting out there and seems like he's enjoying himself right now. But yeah, in terms of what happened with that, I haven't really heard much about that. I haven't asked any questions about that. I haven't talked much about that anymore. So there's a lot of crazy shit happening out there, guys. I'll put it like that. A lot of great things are happening too. A lot of great stories happening in poker as well. But there's also a lot of interesting things that no one really speaks about publicly going on. Left-hand table, Doug makes that normal 1/3 pot, Queen 7-4, 2 clubs. Daniel check calls. board pairs. We've seen the players lead this board texture when the 4 or the 7 pairs. Daniel checks. Doug checks back. See what goes on here. Daniel checks again. What is Doug Polk? Doug Polk checks back. Daniel takes down a pot with the pocket 3s. Nice hand for him. Right-hand side, putting more pressure on Doug. $2,100 bet. Does call, flushes out there. Straight draw's missing, and Daniel's going to check back with that second pair. Doug does show up with the open and straight draw and 1 club in his hand. It's a little surprised we didn't see Daniel value bet that hand, actually. He does have the Queen 10 and does check it back. Second pair, nice kicker. Going to ask Landon about that hand when he gets back in here. Maximum says, Poppy, I love you, Poppy. Glad to see you're okay. You got us worried. Yeah, I'll be making a lot more content about what I was doing, what I was studying, where I was at. Basically, I just needed a long break, man. I've been going strong on the poker world stuff for about 12 years. Not enough balance in my life. My health habits were not necessarily in order. My relationships need a lot of work. My family relationship needed a lot of work. The way I was approaching life, structuring my goals, structuring what I wanted to achieve needed a lot of work. And I just thought that the construction of what I was doing was not in line, man. I just really needed a break. Needed to detox and release myself from the poker world programming. And everyone thinks everything in poker's like the biggest thing that's happening on earth. And in reality, there's a big world outside of poker. And, I spent a lot of time learning about that. So welcome back, brother.
Do you think about calling this the Polker challenge?
Mm-hmm.
You thought about that?
Mm-mm.
You thought about calling this poker hands?
Mm-mm. I have not.
Should have thought about that.
The poker challenge.
The poker heads up challenge.
Yeah, we could definitely call it that, man. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Leo says, did you get out in nature and take some psychedelics and shit? No psychedelics in nature, no. But I definitely got outside a lot. Get off the internet, man. I mean, especially when you're on social media, you can get in these echo chambers where everything is just very negative and everyone's talking about how bad things are going in whatever sector of the world that you're in. So I think it's really good to kind of take a break from that, especially for me, who I spend a lot of time on Twitter and on Instagram talking about poker and putting out content. So yeah, man, you got to really control what kind of content you get in there, because you can end up in a vortex of stuff that is not necessarily supporting what your goals are or positive to your family or to your health, to your friendships.
So I see a couple people in the chat saying that Doug's edge should be realized in some capacity, but in 2,300 hands, someone with even like an 8-to-1 advantage, which is extremely hard to have in heads up because of sheer variance, could easily go the other person's way, just because it doesn't take a genius to win aces versus kings, right? Like in the very standard spots where you have strong hands and you get in cooler situations, that happens enough of the time in spots like this. Like even 25,000 hands isn't going to show anything, but with the money on the line, I think having Doug would be a extremely profitable bet if it was at 1-to-1. So 4-to-1, like it seems like a pretty good line actually, because Doug was coming into this as like a pretty big favorite, having a lot of experience in this field, and Daniel not really doing too much work on it. But it kind of shows a testament to the amount you can learn if you spend a lot of time using solvers and getting in the lab and playing a bunch of hands and learning a lot. Like you can become pretty good pretty quick, especially if you have a solid team around you.
I know. I think that's one big thing I've learned from kind of just seeing how you prepare and how you study and how you approach poker, is that if you're working with the right people who can give you the right answers among a bunch of different situations, you can get better very, very quickly. And that's why it's important, if your goal is to try to become the best version of yourself you can be, that those people around you are there to kind of bat ideas around, and preferably they're at a skill level that you're at or higher, and you understand how to ask the right questions, which that's something Landon's really good at. We got my man Lucky Chewy in the chat. Shout out to Lucky Chewy. Lucky Chewy
Where
is
he?
fucking beasting, man.
Where is he?
That guy's working hard. Shout out to Lucky Chewy, still one of the top players in the American poker world. And yeah, man, I saw him. He's up there a little bit, Andrew. He's up there. He commented. So right-hand table, Daniel goes for a little check raise in the 6-6-3.
Chewy got third in the 500 WSOP yesterday. So
Congratulations to Chewy.
hell yeah, brother, to Chewy.
Hell yeah, brother. Getting after it. Shout to Chewy. Kid's always working hard, man. Doug does call on the right-hand
A
side.
legend of the game.
He is a legend of the game, no doubt about it, man. He's been playing high stakes for many, many, many years
Yeah.
amongst the internet. So Daniel check raises a 6-6-3 board, checks the turn once the ace gets in. Let's see what Doug Polk decides to do.
We'll have to get Chewy as a guest commentator at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout to Americans.
God bless America.
God bless America. God bless America, man. Americans are coming back. Also, guys, I am looking for up and coming Americans out there as well too. We're gonna find the next generation of American poker players out there. We're building the power stable. So Doug bets the turn. Daniel check calls. Very interesting hand going on here on the right hand side. So Daniel check raises. Check calls the turn. Let's see what goes on in the river. What do you think D-Negs is going to show down here?
Not sure.
Just throw down the 3 sixes.
Just trips.
The king 6. So Daniel taking a really tricky line with the king 6. So he flops trip 6s, check raises, check calls the turn, and then checks river. What do you think about that?
He check raises flop, check calls turn, checks river.
Mm-hmm.
The ace is really good for Doug, right?
Mhm.
Because the ace on the turn, because Doug is going to continue with all of his ace high backdoor draws, and those are going to be mostly ace x of hearts and diamonds because clubs does appear.
Mm-hmm.
So Doug is going to have some stabs on an ace, and Daniel is also protecting his overall range and thinks that Doug might stab too much on the river.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a really solid hand to have because he's trying to catch that young man speeding, maybe backing up that truck too far, maybe backing up that truck right into the house.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, man. Well, nice hand for Daniel Negreanu, and he is in the lead right now. Looks like he's up about maybe like $160,000 so far today, and he's killing it. So that's going to put him up about $100,000 for the match total. But we still got a very, 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 very long way to go. They said Landon went to the bathroom and hit the pipe. Is that true? You went to hit the pipe?
No, I got food.
Yeah, food. Yeah, he's just eating.
I haven't ate yet all day. I'm so hungry.
Need a little snack?
Yeah.
Maybe we can get a snack from Shelby. Left-hand side, Doug makes a pretty big raise. Daniel leads the river, $2,500. Doug's going to raise. I don't think we can back up the truck. Pocket kings, okay.
It's a little horny sound.
That's a little something. $19,000 pot. Goes Doug Polk's way. Supreme leader. Getting back a little bit of chips there. He'll take anything at this point in time. So pocket kings. C-bets.
Take all you can get.
Turn. He checks back the kings. Pretty standard play
I
by
like
him.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of straight draws come in that Daniel is going to have more than Doug. And the turn, the river board pair is really good because now he counterfeits 2 pairs.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets value unblocking 9x that will just pay. And you want to have some strong checkbacks on the turn, like a hand like kings when straights do come in. And played it really good.
Nice hand by Doug.
He's done well.
He's done well.
He's done well for himself, that one, Joey.
The Supreme Leader makes a good play, does well for himself, wins a small pot, and he's fighting back here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like Daniel's really getting out of line any of these big pots, man. Last session do we remember seeing him do anything real crazy when it came down, like making a big bluff or even like making really big hero calls? Because I don't remember seeing anything like that last session either.
No, it hasn't really. The opportunity doesn't seem to have presented itself yet.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah.
But as they say, Joey, we will
Anything's
see.
possible, right?
Anything's possible to those who believe.
Anything's possible. Dream, declare, deliver, right? Daniel Negreanu. He dreamed that he could beat Doug Polk heads up. He declared he'd beat Doug Polk heads up. Did he? I guess he kind of did. And now he's going to try to deliver on that promise to himself. Left-hand Sable, we got a little... we got a check raise from Doug, and he bets pot on the turn. Daniel folds pretty quickly, takes it down. And now we are getting another break. Daniel Negreanu going for that smoke break. Currently up, I'd say about 4 buy-ins, a little under 4 buy-ins, maybe about 150,000, 160,000 right now.
Just doing well.
Doing well, man. Doing well out there.
Running good.
Landon, what do you think about the state of online poker in America these days? Think there's enough action for people to play?
Yeah, there are definitely some action games out there.
Yeah? There's a lot of action going on out there right now.
Definitely.
Man. I think with all the American sites that you can play, if you want to play tournaments, you have the app sites. The Poker has got a lot of game tournaments on there. They're putting some big tournaments. ACR's always got tournaments. Global's got a bunch of tournaments. World Series of Poker, if you're in legal poker, has got tournaments. There's a lot of options out there. And if you play cash games, And that's a little bit trickier if you want to play mid to high stakes because we got a lot of players that are pretty tough. But there's more than enough games to play if you're trying to play cash games as well too. If you're kind of mixing those sites together, what's your main focus right now in terms of where you're playing at?
I'm mostly playing on WSOP,
Yeah.
the tournaments in cash, and then not really playing too much live. Just kind of doing that when I feel like it, and it feels kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm gonna play this Venetian tournament on Friday, and kind of just enjoy it.
Yeah, try to win another tournament.
I'll just do my best.
Do your best. And the cards will fall where they lie, huh?
The cards will fall where they may.
Exactly.
And last time they fell.
Last time they fell
For
definitely
me.
on your side, yeah.
They fell this way.
No doubt about it, man.
They
No
came
doubt
this
about
way.
it. So picking back up, they take a very small break here, it appears. Daniel Negreanu.
Yeah, Daniel just gets in, gets out.
Yeah. Daniel gets in, gets out. 3 bets, gets a call. 7-6-5 board, 2 spades.
Be a boy, he's gonna do a bunch of checking on.
JF says, Joey, how's the bot situation on ACR? Listen, all I know is I played a lot of mid-stakes PLO when I took time off, and there's some really weird shit happening on that site. These Russians, Ukrainian, Belarusian, Georgians account, I don't know what is going on, but it appears that they somehow managed to get three accounts at a table all the time, and some weird shit happened on that site if you play pot middle on cash. But there also is a lot of bad players, so as long as you have one bad player on the table, and if you have position on that bad player, you're theoretically, you should be able to be in a profitable spot. Left hand, all in call, 8 flush draw, ace king versus queens.
Stay on the
Oh
play it.
my god!
We can finally play.
I think we got to play the master clip. $97,000 pot goes Daniel Negreanu's way, my friends. We got a special treat for you. We have a sound effect we have not played yet.
Oh, we're just gonna play the sound effect.
We can play sound. Let's play sound effect.
Yours truly, back in the trailer, getting my
Narcotics.
narcotics, coffee, bagging and stacking, and the million maker, I got around 50,000. I crack myself up, I'm so good, I can't. Oh, look at that piece of ass right there. That's my snack. That's my wifey. Rawr. Show me that sushi, baby. Makes me want to take a picture of my package for the investors. All right. Choo-choo. The cuddle train arrived. I got to get going, guys. Day 9 blog. See ya.
A very iconic clip from the Daniel Negreanu poker vlog from the World Series of Poker. Daniel, a big pot, ace king versus pocket queens, goes his way. Flush draw versus overpair, and Daniel hits the flush on the river, takes down a $100,000 pot, and Daniel Negreanu has his foot on the gas. He has taken over the truck. He has hijacked
the truck.
The truck has been hijacked like we're playing Grand Theft Auto 5 online.
4 on the river.
Negreanu.
A little bit better for Doug than Daniel with a 6. There it is.
Well, there
a
we
6.
go. So Doug Polk takes back a $26,000 pot. Doesn't hit the. He doesn't hit his. He doesn't make the
flush, makes it straight.
Yeah, it makes.
We'll take it.
Though. Yeah, we definitely take it for Doug Polk if you're Doug Polk here. So he check raises that nut flush draw.
Yep.
And the gutter. Or I'm sorry, open-ended straight draw. Checks the turn. What do you think
check.
about that?
I like the turn check with ace high showdown and want to have some high equity draws.
Mhm.
I like the turn check a lot.
So he does check call a turn. Seems standard. Yeah, never check
He could
raising.
I think he can lead this river actually for a small sizing.
Interesting.
Doug does have a lot of 6Xs that would like to take this line, and river might just check a bunch as seen. So you can definitely take like a small 10% lead in a spot like this.
Well, he does decide to check. Think that check might be a mistake?
No,
No?
definitely not a mistake.
Okay. Nice hand by Doug. Wins a little bit of money back. 26,000. Left-hand side. He's facing another 2/3 bet on the river.
50,000.
Daniel takes it down. Ace 8. Nice hand for Daniel. Nice value bet on the river with second pair, top kicker. Very nice hand. Roofing slate. Seems like Daniel's never bluffed on the river for big money. It's pre-flop all-ins or river when he has the nuts. Now, I have not watched enough other sessions to know how true that is, but I would imagine he has bluffed sometimes. So,
I would imagine he has bluffed to stack at some point.
yeah, I think so too.
It's also very difficult to tell when you only see showdowns because if Daniel does put in a bet and we had whole cards, we would obviously tell if it was a bluff or not.
Yeah, and also we might see Daniel decide to switch gears at some point in time too.
Yeah.
Maybe he's saving that for another
That
time.
truck's in stick shift.
What? You think Daniel's got his own truck? He's trying to back up right now? Yeah, you think so? I think so. Yeah, I think he is.
I
man.
think if Daniel does indeed find the victory in this challenge, he will probably buy himself a truck in honor of Douglas Polk.
Can you imagine if Daniel wins this, he goes down as one of one of the biggest. I mean, he's already a poker legend, but if he wins this match, he goes down as one of the most iconic people in the history of the game. I mean,
it's a really good achievement.
Exactly, man. I mean, this is something that you're going to talk about for a long time, man. Goes in the history books for Dan. I mean, I think this solidifies, right? If he can come back and play a heads-up match, right? Like against Doug Polk, take him down too. He has a tournament success, heads-up online challenge success. I mean, what more can you say about the guy, right? What does he have to prove?
I think he's playing pretty well right now.
Yeah, nothing. Lyndon Carlson with $5 donation. He says, Joey, I saw your Instagram story looking for a content strategist. It seems you cannot see direct messages. Is there a better way to contact you? Probably that's the best way for right now. I have a lot of messages on Instagram that I have to go through. I've been preparing for this challenge and working at this show. So I do a lot of work myself. But yeah, I'm definitely looking for someone to help with overall content strategy across platforms and somebody who could help me with graphics and someone who can help me achieve the vision I have in my head for how I'd like my production to look in terms of ideas. And because I come up with all my strategy for all different platforms and I'd like to expand and do things a little bit better and bring out a nice team of people around me who can just provide insight and we could bat ideas around. I think me and Landon talk ideas for content all the time.
We have great ideas.
I know, I have the best content ideas in poker history that
And the best
I'm about to
thumbnail.
unleash.
The best thumbnail.
The best thumbnail is very debatable, but
No,
the thumbnails are getting
not
better.
debatable.
They're getting better.
Undebatable.
They're getting better. Right-hand side, big raise in the river from Doug Polk and takes it down pretty quickly. Left-hand side, chop it up. Jack 4 first, Jack 4.
Daniel had the free roll there.
Yeah, nice hand by both players. Chop it up. Bow, 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 bow. What's going on, guys? We're here. We're live. Brand new Poker Life podcast. Should I go back doing the podcast? I haven't done a podcast in about 2.5. You were the last person on my show about 3 months ago, 2.5 months ago.
Yeah.
Is it time to do a podcast again?
Podcast run good.
Is it time to bring back poker news? I feel like it's time. I feel like I got to get back in the streets here, man. We got the challenge, but I want to figure out what else has been going on out there.
You're going to be so busy.
I know, I really am. That's why I need to hire people to help me
You're
out.
going to be so busy.
I know. It's a lot of content to make. That's a challenge when you got a lot of formats that you like and you're good at. You got to kind of narrow it down to a couple. Otherwise, you're going to be all over the place. And the way you get better is by consistently doing one format or doing one thing theoretically. So
Yep.
I just need to work at the process and system I use to take my ideas into actuality and then work at the system that I use in terms of distribution across platforms for that piece of content. And that's what I'm working at right now. We'll figure it out.
Bow, bow,
Bow,
bow.
bow, bow, bow. Child of the Sim, Landon Tice in the house here. Zakuni says, what's the stake that stuck to Landon the most? I feel an endless loop at 100 NL. Any advice?
I was at 200 NL for about
Big check raise.
probably 4 months. And then I was winning like 3 big blinds per 100 in EV, and I was breaking even over like 100,000 hands. So I was running bad to some extent, but I just kind of stuck with it. Kept getting better every day, kept running hands, talking to friends, putting in the volume,
Mm-hmm.
not really going outside, and
Sure.
just all poker.
Yeah, I mean that is that's something that a lot of people can't necessarily do, right? They might have a job they got to go to. They might not have time to dedicate. They might have family and friends that they enjoy spending time with. I think for Landon, his cost of living was quite low. He's a young guy, 21. So when your cost of living is very low, the earned income that you have to make doesn't necessarily matter if you got no bills and you live at home. So therefore, you can dedicate your time to poker, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have to cash any money out. So I remember my roommate back in San Diego. The problem that he had was he had a lot of bills. So he might have been making $2,500 a month, but his bills were $2,500. So therefore, he could never actually build a bankroll in order to progress up to the next stakes and be able to build something for himself. So when you're a young guy and you have no bills and you have no overhead, you don't have to take your money offline. Or you can also potentially find staking and find backing, which is something that Landon's big into. And you can build your bankroll up that way. And it hurts because you don't necessarily get all the profit for yourself. And a lot of people can't necessarily deal with that. But that's always been something that you're good at. You've realized that getting the staking and coaching in the process and being able to play against better players at higher stakes is worth it, even though you might make less money in the short term. In the long run, you're able to make more money.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a good approach that you took. Man.
Summed it up pretty well.
Yeah. Dare I say, GTO. Right-hand side, another 3-bet.
Boom, boom.
GTO stamp of approval. Boom, boom. Right-hand table, Doug Polk 3 bets, checks the flop. Daniel checks back. Turn is the Jack of Hearts. Jack 10, 8, 7. 9 makes a straight. 2 flush draws possible. Shout out to Casey. Smash the like button to welcome Pocket back. Listen, if you guys are watching right now, it really much supports the channel, supports us, supports the show. So check on the turn. Backdoor flush gets there. Ace queen gets there. Let's see what Doug decides to do. Doug bets 1/3 pot.
I like this block bet size, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna have some strong hands with as well. Have some backdoor flushes. Have some bluffs for cheaper. Have some thin value bets like Jack 7.
Interesting hand. Nice hand by Doug Polk. Doug Polk bets the Jack 7 for value.
Yeah.
So he flops.
Probably got called by a king.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, he flops. So what do you think about the check on the flop? I guess he's going for a check raise in the flop. So he flops bottom pair with a gut shot straight draw plus the straight flush draw.
Yeah, so he's got a PLO hand here.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a PLO hand. So he checks the flop, checks the turn, and then bets 1/3 pot on the river, gets called most likely by a king. What does he do if he gets raised there?
Probably find a fold.
Yeah.
I think Doug would find a fold.
It's a sad scenario when you flop bottom pair with a jack eye flush draw, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got to lay that one down.
Yep.
What kind of truck would Landon buy if he could? Someone says. Oh, we got an overbet here from Daniel too on the left-hand side. First time we've seen Daniel whip out an overbet. I think one of the first times we've seen it this match.
I don't know how to drive yet, so if the Cybertruck knows how to auto drive, I would buy a Cybertruck.
It might. Left-hand side, we got some brewing here, boys.
So if I were to buy a truck, it'd be the Cybertruck.
You're big time Tesla, huh?
I just don't know how to drive. So.
You need some of that auto drives. All right. Doug Polk wins a little pot with the bottom two
The
pair.
bottom two.
So Doug check calls that overbet on the turn. Flush gets there on the river. No more money goes in, and Doug wins another small pot. So he's kind of fighting back a little bit here.
Yeah, definitely.
And we could see a really big pot because we are about 150 big blinds deep on both tables. So we might see some real big pots here brewing.
Sparks could be flying.
They could definitely be flying. They could definitely start to fly. So you'd buy it's easy to drive, right? Like everyone drives. You don't necessarily you could just get a car that's not auto drive and then learn to drive too, right?
Cybertrucks are pretty cool also.
I know. That'd be pretty sweet. But yeah, why did you never learn how to drive? You just didn't want to?
Oh, I'm a triplet, so I have 2 other brothers, and insurance would be extremely expensive when I was in high school. And I never really left my house anyways because I was playing a bunch of video games. So I never really had an incentive to learn how to drive. And I wouldn't have had the money to pay for a car because I didn't really have a job during high school.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't really make that much sense to me to have a license and pay insurance every month, even though just for having a license.
Can't argue with that logic. Makes a lot of sense. Donkey Puncher says, "What up, Big Puppy?" Mandingo hard when Chicago Joey commenting on 2-card Potman Omaha. What? Let's see. Right-hand table. Daniel 3 bets pre-flop. Ace 9 10 checks the board. Do you want to drive?
I'll learn at some point.
Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, you don't have to drive. Ubers these days take you around. That's how you get here.
They do.
Yeah, we take you home to get here. And you're a triplet too, but you're just dropping knowledge on people these days.
Knowledge.
You've got 2 people that look like you in your family. That's scary.
They don't look like me, man.
I thought you're triplets.
Yeah, we're fraternal triplets.
Oh, so they don't look like you. Are they not? That's the same height as you?
One of them is like a couple inches shorter. The other one's like 4 inches shorter.
Oh,
so
wow.
6 foot, 6'3", 6'5".
You're dunking on them then. Okay.
I can't dunk, Joey.
You can dunk on my hoop right here. Me and
yeah.
Landon play the most competitive matches of a living room basketball of all time. It's blood. It's intense.
It's true.
Right hand side, big pot Bruin, $21,000. Negreanu 3 bets pre-flop, checks the flop. Turn money goes in. River is the 8. So Queen Jack already there on the turn. So Queen 10 for Doug Polk. Daniel has the 4-3 reverse blockers, does not go for the bluff on the river, and Doug Polk wins a nice pot there, $21,000.
Yeah, that's interesting, not bluffing for high. So it does look like Daniel might be under bluffing in a lot of spots on rivers for big bets.
Interesting. So by pull that hand up real quick. So the 4-3. So Daniel 3 bets pre-flop, check flop, turn goes for that 3/4 pot bet, gets called by the Queen 10, 3rd pair plus a gut shot, and gives up on the river.
I think he has 3-4 of clubs, right?
Yeah, 3-4 clubs. Yep.
This is an interesting turn bet, having stone 4 high, no blockers. I think there'd be a give up on the turn a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very interesting hand.
Yeah, he decides not to bluff that. And Doug Polk, I don't know if Doug was going to call with the Queen 10. He does it with the 3rd pair. Does block the Queen Jack. Not sure how relevant that might be. Is this a calling hand if Daniel does decide to bet this river at a pretty nice size.
I think it's
Are there certain sizes you're calling
think-
this, and then at some point you start to fold once it reaches a certain threshold?
I
of
think
size?
that's fair, and I also think finding a bluff raise can also be a relatively decent play, blocking 2 pairs and blocking the straight.
Yeah, makes sense. If Daniel bets 15,000 3/4 pot, are you calling with Queen 10?
No, I think I'd probably mix between a jam and a fold, and I would probably jam if I randomized a really high number, like a 95.
What does that mean for people out there that don't know what that means?
So sometimes when you want to make decisions, you don't want to do something too much, and a randomizer is a nice little way to keep yourself in check in some cases.
So what do you mean? You have like a program that you hit a button and it tells you a number, and then according to that what that number does, you do with that. That's what you do.
Yeah. And
Makes
people do
sense.
this in live poker all the time.
If I
using
saw somebody
chips.
like that in live poker, I might throw a fucking Coke can at their face. What the? I
Well, they do
ban
it.
all
do it,
randomizers.
They do it secretly. They use chips.
They use their.
They
do-
use chip markers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you could
Okay.
shuffle chips in your hand, and you look at the top chip, and then you look at it clockwise, and then the first quadrant of 12 to 3 is 25%. Then 3 to 6 would be 50, and then 6 to 9 would be 75, and then 9 to 12 would be 100. So if you want to do something like 80% of the time, if
what
the
you gotta
chip
do.
marker is on the upper left,
Uh-huh.
that'd be around 80.
Should we put the
75%
ebook up
plus.
today? You want to write the ebook right now on randomized GTO or what?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, we could. Landon dropping some knowledge, randomizing knowledge over here. Daniel takes on a small pot on the right-hand side. Bum, bum, ba, bow. So randomizing, right? Do you suggest people at home that don't randomize now? Do you think they should work that into the game? But they might not know what they're randomizing for, right?
Exactly. I would abstain until you
So you understand what that means?
yeah.
Do you feel like that's the trend where we're going to?
What do you mean?
Where everyone's going to be doing it?
No.
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 No. Too complex, right?
Yeah, I think that most people that play poker kind of want to. They most of the time think of things in a binary way, of things are either right or they're wrong. But poker's way more nuanced than that, and it's that simple.
Yeah, makes sense, right? Makes a lot of sense. Nothing going on right now. Daniel looks to be up about, I'd say he's up about 150K currently for, let's say, session. Puts him up about $80,000 overall for the match. Overbet on the right-hand side by Doug Polk. And Daniel lays it down. Rusty says, so you randomize so your opponent can't pick up on a pattern.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're basically trying to be unexploitable in some ways. And I think randomizing is good versus very strong opponents, and versus opponents that might not be as good. You can get away with making pure decisions, because sometimes bluffs will work more than they should, and sometimes value bets get paid more than they should.
Makes sense, right?
So.
Yeah. Too much strat. Ay, papi.
Little strat. Little strat.
Yeah,
Little
too much,
strat.
though. I just know those questions asked, though. You know, randomize. What's that mean?
I was like, okay,
What is
Joe,
a
you
ran-
guys are going to get into
what
this,
is a
Joey?
randomize?
Like,
What is a random? What is a random? What does that mean? My God, I've never heard that word in my life.
yeah,
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I'm randomizing versus those 2, 5, 10 PLO players at the ARIA all the time, man.
Yeah, right.
Always randomizing against these guys.
Yeah,
Tough
right.
players, man. Right-hand side, Doug gets snap called. He's got ace-4. Nice value bet there by Doug Polk. Takes down a $15,000 pot. Little truck. I mean, a little momentum. Give him a little bit. Maybe we need to just put the BB on. Give him some momentum. Maybe throw him some energy his way.
Maybe we need a new truck backing up
Okay,
song.
I think we do need a new truck backup song, because that one, for some reason, is not going Doug Polk's way. Trunk horn sound effect. Oh my God, this is hilarious. All right, let me see what this one is.
That's when he wins like a massive
That's
pot.
when he wins a massive pot. Okay, that's when he wins
that's
a
like
massive
a
pot.
steamroll-y kind of.
Air horns galore. Oh my God, this guy
How-
made a 33-minute video on air horns. What a weirdo.
Let's watch it.
He's literally on a bridge shooting videos of an air. What the fuck is this guy? There's a genre for everything out there. The guy's recording trains. I don't know what's happening here. 3-bet pot left-hand side by Doug Polk. Queen 9-7, 2 clubs. See what happens. Who are these disrespectful people in the chat? They're gonna get banned pretty quickly, man. I'm about to. But disrespectful. 5'11", Joey. That's not a line. That's a permanent ban. I'm 5'11". What are you guys talking about?
5'11".
5'11".
5'11". What?
Hit us in the basketball court. One-on-one ball. Who do you think wins? Me versus you basketball?
It's a coin flip.
Absolutely not. I'd fucking destroy you.
Okay.
Right. Heads up, Nolan Holm. Who wins? Me or you?
Probably you.
Probably me. Probably me too. Right? Yeah. Tennis. Probably you.
Probably you.
Maybe me.
Probably you.
PLO.
Me. We played PLO.
Oh yeah.
We knew how that went.
We played a few hands. Yeah. Okay.
I kept making the nuts.
Yeah, I know. It says what Daniel Negreanu would mean, huh?
Yeah.
Ay. Is there any Landon playing live video out there? Yeah. Do you have any video of you playing live poker?
I don't think so.
Well, there is going to be a video of you playing live poker soon on Poker Mountain.
Poker After Dark, probably, at some point.
Probably. Poker After Dark. I love it.
Yep.
Amen. Chinchilla says, Joey, is your hat inspiration Cam Newton? No, I've had this hat for years, and this has been the Nolan Hold'em hat for a long time before Cam Newton started dressing. I mean, Cam Newton's always had his own style of fashion. I like where he comes from, but I like all the people out there. They wear like clothes that don't fit them, and they're like, look at Cam Newton, he looks so dressed. You know, I always find that quite funny when people who have no sense of fashion and put in absolutely no effort at all on their own fashion critique and criticize people that they don't know and will never know and will never meet their choice of clothing and fashion. I find that always very strange. I mean, people are always very critical online in general. They think that they just like to talk shit about people and put them down and be real negative and make fun of them and join the herd in the crowd, and they see other people like that. And I don't know. I don't spend much time thinking about things like that. If I don't like someone's fashion, I just won't watch them or look at what they do or not think about it. Bow. Nothing brewing here, guys. Daniel, 214,000 on the left-hand side. Right-hand side, we are shaping up for a big pot. Let's see what goes down. Bow. Check on the right-hand table. What do you think about Poker After Dark? I mean, is it really Poker After Dark, though?
What do you mean?
It's not really Poker. Poker After Dark was initially a show that aired at 1 a.m. on NBC, right?
Sure.
It's kind of like poker. It's like a new show. It's like poker. It's basically just using the Poker After Dark name. I don't necessarily think that's GTO.
Right.
I mean, it's good for. It's really not Poker After Dark. I don't know. I think you should call it something else, personally. But
We'll figure it out.
that'd be fun to see you play on there.
Yeah.
Putting in some work. Find some soft games. Doug, straight on the left-hand side, takes it down. Ay. We need our moderators to step up. I see some people getting out of line in the chat here. We need our moderators to step up here to play it a little bit. We need some background music. What do you think?
Sure.
Background music.
Non-copyrighted background, a little bit.
Non-copyrighted background music. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. We could do something like that. I was thinking about Doyle Brunson. He has the 10 deuce hand. Wouldn't it be nice if maybe you have your own hand and it's a really bad hand, but people start playing all those hands against you?
Sure, why not?
So why don't you just call the Landon Tice like 9-3 offsuit or something like that? And that way people will try to play the 9-3 offsuit against you. It's very advanced, right? It's advanced sort of meta. I think Doyle was ahead of his time for sure. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Now he gets a bunch of people to blast off with 10 deuce offsuit against him or 10 deuce suited.
They even do it versus other people.
He does it, yeah. He
No, like other people do it versus other people because
just
of that
because,
hand.
yeah. That's actually a good point. Yeah, that's true. It's kind of funny when you give a hand a nickname, or if you play the 7 deuce game, all of a sudden people start, they just start going crazy. They start blasting off here. Who wants to be a moderator in the chat? You guys let me know. Anyone wants to be a moderator, let me know. We'd love to have you. I'm going to leave a comment that says, how times have changed, Joey. I remember your long live videos railing 400, 800 on stars with Blom, Sauce, and Blom versus with color. Yeah, we've done a lot of these live streams in the past 6 years. It's been a good time. It's been a lot of high stakes action, and I'm glad to see we have this nice high stakes challenge to go over. I don't know how many more of these we're going to have, so I could see these kind of picking up more. It seems like the heads up matches have kind of gaining some steam with the Galfond challenge and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's really good
Yeah.
for the game. Having some high stakes action that everyone can watch.
Mm-hmm. Why is that good for the game?
More eyes on it.
Yeah.
More allure of the high stakes scene. Playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially in a single pot.
Yeah, I think it just gives people something to follow, a story to follow. I think right now there's so much poker out there, but it's really hard to know what's going on or know who a lot of these players are, because we see a lot of final tables that they're streaming on Twitch, but you don't often know what these guys are up to or who they are. Even a lot of the well-known American players or well-known European players who are known for being good, they don't really post anywhere, so you can't necessarily connect with them or even care about how they're doing because you don't necessarily know how they're doing.
Right.
They're playing a lot of tournaments. They might be down $1 million, but they're actually up. They're up that tournament, but they're not winning. So it's really hard to know who's good, who's winning, who's losing. And if you have a good reputation, and if you are someone that's known in the community and you have the right people that are by your side who will support you and back you for tournaments, you might be able to get backed for many years as a losing player. So you sort of have that reputation from a few years ago because you had some scores as a winning player, but in reality, you're not actually winning. Maybe you're winning overall, but not winning against the field of people you're playing in. So it's really hard from an observer perspective to even know who's good, who knows what they're doing, and who's winning, who's losing, who to pay attention to, which is why all the attention goes to the people that are creating content, because you can at least understand their stories a little bit too.
Definitely.
So a lot of these good players are they're kind of going by the wayside because the places that they play get absolutely no attention. And before the good players, right, they had shows to play on and there weren't many poker shows. Now there's hundreds of streams, there's a bunch of content creators, so it's that much harder for those players to get attention for their play. And if only 100 people watching on Twitch, that's not many people watching. So the players that are in there, they basically need to be in collaboration with the creators of content in order to get themselves out there. And right now that's not taking place. So that's why we're seeing the vloggers have these big audiences and people care about them because they get to see them and know what they're up to. Just like with you, when you share your story and you write your blogs and you're talking about your progress on Twitter.
Yeah.
We got the Discord group going, Children of the Sim.
Children of the Sim is great.
Yeah, shout out to Children of the Sim. I know we got a lot of our children out there in the chat. Our Children of the Sim on the Discord. So Doug, right-hand side, he is chipping up a little bit here, Landon.
Yeah.
$1,200 bet on the river gets called. Shows down ace-7. Nice hand for Doug. What's this chat, man? Best takeaway food in Vegas, Dashable says. I don't know. It's a good question. I'm not really sure for takeaway. Chipotle? Is Chipotle takeaway? I don't know. Something that has chicken, veggies, and rice is my favorite takeaway food.
Takeout food?
Takeout food, yeah.
Takeaway.
Takeaway, yeah. Are you prepared for the lockdown coming up, Landon?
What lockdown? What?
It's becoming. Can't you see all the propaganda they're pushing out there with the media?
The meat.
Governor Sisolak. What do you think they're going to do? They're definitely shutting this down, man.
I'm going to play poker. That's what I'm going to do.
You're going to crush it. It's going to be good for you. Make it a positive, not a negative. Work on your game. Get your habits in line. Drink water. Eat healthy. Get yourself prepared for when it ends.
For the onslaught.
Right-hand side, Doug Polk. Pot-size bet gets called by Daniel. 2 pair for Doug Polk. Chipping up there. $84,000 in his stack. What do you think Daniel's calling that river with?
A queen?
Queen. So turn. Doug turns a 2 pair. That's a third pot. Gets called. River 10. Doug goes for pot size.
Yeah.
What do you think the bottom of his calling range is there?
A 10.
A 10, yeah.
Like 10-6,
Mm-hmm.
10-3. Hands of that nature that like turn open-ended and have a pair that block straights.
And then what hands do you think Doug might be bluffing here with? 3s?
3s, 6s.
3 6s, yeah.
And then like 7-8.
Mm-hmm. So you start off with hands that block straight and then gradually move out from there, hands that might block a 6.
Right.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Would you go ahead and bet pot size there? Is that like a normal sort of approach to take?
Yeah, I mean, I think anything between like a block size or a bigger size makes a lot of sense here. Because with the draw bricking, you're polarizing yourself. So having it, you want to have some value hands as well as bluffs. It is kind of unfortunate sometimes when you have the queen and the 5 because you block the queen from Daniel himself having a queen. But you still have to find bets with good hands for many dollars. That's what Doug did.
Nice hand by him.
Got paid.
Got paid, getting laid. Amen to Doug Polk. Takes down a little pot, coming back. You ever heard that saying before?
From the Pete. That's the man's right there.
Yeah, get paid, get
Shout out
laid.
to the man's.
Shout out to Manzelli. He was a member of the Gambling Olympics that I was a part of. Our team won that. Shout out to me.
Thank you, me.
Thank you, me. Gambling Olympics was a good time. I won the Connect 4 and I won Rock, Paper, Scissors because I am a Connect 4. I mean, people aren't studying Connect 4, right?
We played Connect 4.
We played Connect 4. Who won?
Me.
I don't think so. Is that true?
Yeah.
You beat me more than I beat you. I'll play you right now on stream.
Correct.
We'll end this right now. I'll battle you right now.
We'll end the stream
Connect
right now.
4 right now.
Connect
Play
4.
you right now. Oh yeah. I don't think you beat me in Connect 4.
Yes.
Overall, the overall match, you won more than me. I don't think so, dude.
Okay.
What about duel?
I think you're up a little.
I'm up a little bit in duel. Yeah, it's true.
I've been running bad.
It happens, man. Ryan says, Landon, when starting the sim game, what product would you suggest? As I'm start an old HUD-focused gamer.
Pile Solver is great.
Mm-hmm.
Get Pile Solver.
Amen.
Use that.
Start with that. Go from there.
That's all I got.
Yeah. There's a lot of programs out there that tell you how to play or that give you suggestions, and you got to sort of learn the programs work. And I think that learning how technology works as technology advances is very important, because even no matter what you're doing for whatever business that you might have, new technology is coming all over the place. Technology that studies what your competition's doing, technology that lays out exactly what you can do, technology that automates processes that you're going to continuously do each and every day for your business. So being up to date on what technology you can use to better your business, and also understanding how that technology works, is a very huge competitive advantage for you to figure out. So just because you get a program, you need to learn how the program works too. And I think a lot of people don't necessarily spend as much time studying the ins and outs of all this different technology that's released up there, and they don't get the full capabilities of what they're trying to do. There's a lot of these things out there for like marketing. There's a lot of technology that helps you out with marketing and with making more money, with their advertising as well too. So it's a very fascinating world right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Shout out to the third eye, the penile gland. Shout out to Reina Bahel in the chat. Rana Bahawal. You doing any meditation? You a big meditation guy?
Not really.
No? You don't need to worry about any of that?
I'm okay for now.
Okay, for now you don't have that crazy thoughts in your mind. Your head's clear.
Yeah.
Enjoy it while you can, buddy. 21 years old. I like it a lot. Let's see what happens here. Nothing going on right now. Any takeaways from the match so far, Landon?
Not too sure. I mean, it's hard when you're only playing a couple hundred hands
Yeah.
a session. But it did seem in some spots that Daniel was under bluffing rivers for bigger bet sizes and having stronger hands, and like a higher proportion of stronger hands to weaker ones.
Mm-hmm. 3-bet on the left-hand side. Doug Polk's pretty quickly. So we have not seen many 4-bets from Doug Polk today. We've not necessarily seen Daniel make a ton of 3-bets as well. We've seen Daniel 4-bet a bunch, but we have not seen, we've not seen Daniel 3-bet a ton. Left-hand side, Doug Polk 3-bets. Jack 10-5, 2 clubs. $51,000 deep. Doug has not won a big pot today.
Yeah.
Yet. Pod size bet.
Yeah, so on these double Broadway boards, using a pot size bet's a really good idea. I've looked at a bunch of sims, 100 big blinds deep, and pot size bets on the double Broadway boards for the 3-betters.
Pretty good.
Pretty much the choice bet sizing there.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, we haven't really seen someone use that strategy yet, have we? I don't think we've seen anybody do that so far in our matches we've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. GTO though.
Boom, boom.
Amen. Put a stamp of approval. GTO. Boom. Stamp of approval. We need a sound effect for that one, don't we?
Just get a stamp sound.
Get a stamp sound. Okay.
Like approved. Like approved.
Approved. We'll work on it.
Yeah.
We'll work on it for the next stream.
We'll get it done.
Left-hand side, another 3-bet here by Doug Polk. Queen 9-6 board. Turn, pairs the bottom card. Flop goes check, check. You can see that min bet on the right-hand table. Players are min betting on these paired boards. Doug does call. Turn, goes check, check on the left-hand side. What's Doug Polk going to do? 3-bet pre-flop, check, turn. Checks again. Daniel, 2/3 pot. Could have a jack here. Could be value betting a jack. Jack 10.
Queens to check back the turn on the 6. Very reasonable.
Queen 10, Queen Jack.
Yeah.
Maybe Queen 8 suited.
We're about to find out, potentially.
He calls Queen 4 suited
There's the queen.
for Daniel Negreanu. So Daniel, check back the flop with the top pair. Checks back the turn once again. Goes for that 2/3 value bet on the river. Doug Polk calls. And Daniel wins another nice pot.
Yep.
Very nice hand. Queen 4 suited. So that's pretty normal to defend to a 3-bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Queen 4. Mixing it up.
It's not. I think it is a mix for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So sometimes fold, sometimes call.
Correct.
But you're not automatically calling every 3-bet with Queen 4 suited.
You might be. I haven't looked too much at the lower fringier parts of a 3-bet defend in position,
Mm-hmm.
but you mostly defend a lot of suited hands with 3-bets.
9-3 suited.
That one probably folds.
That one's probably fold. Yeah. What do you think? Like the bottom threshold of hands you're defending to a 3-bet in position that are suited.
Probably like a Jack 5, Jack 6 maybe.
Jack 5, Jack 6. Yeah.
Something like that.
About like a 10-6 fold, Jack 6
It
call.
might be close. They're pretty close.
Interesting.
Mostly mixed.
Don't you feel like a lot of people would have trouble with those hands in those inflated pots in terms of playing it the frequencies the right way on later streets when they do flop a marginal top pair or
Definitely.
second pair? Yeah.
I think that's the reason why in heads up people under 3-bet for sure,
Mm-hmm.
is because then you get into a lot of marginal spots where you're not entirely sure.
That's why people don't 3-bet as much. Whereas
With these
someone,
marginally sort of suited hands where, like Doug's 8-4 of diamonds is a 3-bet,
Mhm.
but most people play it as a call because it's doesn't seem very intuitive to 3-bet a hand like that, what looks as weak as that one.
Mm-hmm. And why is 8-4 suited? Why is that a hand that you should always be 3-betting, or you should be 3-betting at some frequency of a time? I think a lot of people out there might be
Because
confused.
sometimes the board comes connected low cards, and you just have to have coverage when you 3-bet.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just only have the Broadway cards, because when a board like 5, 6, 7 comes out, you have to be protected in some capacity. Because if you always have like the 2 Broadway cards, you're just going to get smashed, because you're just going to check flop a lot and be under protected on boards of that nature.
So I think a lot of people would then wonder, if you're doing 8-4 suited, why not choose something like 7-8 suited and then start folding the 8-4, 8-5 suited?
Because you have to also have connectivity with the lower cards,
So you want to have more of those hands in your range. Yeah, makes sense.
like 3s and 4s and deuces and
Mm-hmm.
hands of that nature. And I'm sure it's a pretty low frequency to begin with, but you just kind of have to have that in there at some percentage.
So left-hand side,
As
Daniel
a flush.
bets the river, gets snap called, and Daniel wins another $20,000 pot. So we're seeing a lot of these $20,000 pots going on so far today. And there are not have been a lot of truck
You need to
emojis today.
understand that everything you do at the poker table conveys information. You can't be like all loosey-goosey having a sandwich, being on your phone.
Ay. Daniel crushing it right now. The masterclass is going into full effect. This is probably good for both masterclass and for upswing poker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're out there and if you're showing that you can bat out the highest stakes, I think people out there see that and think that this might be a guy that I want to learn from. So masterclass ads are going up. Upswing poker subscriptions are going up. GG poker signups are going up because Daniel represents GG poker. Left-hand side, Doug goes with the overbet, gets called. Straight gets there, queen 10, and the flush draw gets there as well. So Daniel checks. You okay?
Yeah, I'm just.
You okay?
Yeah.
Need some water? You can pour some water, bucket of water on your head.
Doing
buddy?
good, doing
You
good.
pour a bucket of water on your head. Doug takes it down, a little small bet. So it looks like Daniel right now is probably up about, let's see, I'd probably say he's up about what? 160, 180, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's crushing for today's session. I mean, once you get in that hole to start off, Daniel was up about $80,000 pretty quickly. And he's had the momentum on his side. Doug's been chipping away a little bit, kind of going back and forth, but for the most part, hasn't been able to get any momentum going so far. But we are going to find out if he can turn around to end the match. This has been going on for about 2 hours. They played last time about 3.5 hours. Doug, with the 7-high flush, calls the river. So Daniel was value betting that 5-high flush. Interesting play by Daniel Negreanu. So Doug 3-bets 10-7 suited, flops a pair and a flush draw. Daniel pocket fives, bets, gets called. Turn is the flush. Goes check, check, river. Daniel value bets the 5 for a very small size. What do you think's going on here,
He tried
Landon?
to target a queen, and he value owned himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what happened.
Pretty normal play about the flop bet there. Small bet with pocket fives.
I think it's okay, yeah.
Yeah. Are you betting all your under pair? Are you not betting a 7, but you're betting 5s?
I think I would bet if I had a spade way more than without it.
Mm-hmm. So you bet the 5 of spades more than without a 5 of spades. Is that why is that because you have backdoor flush draw?
Yes.
Okay.
And you also block him from continuing by having a spade in your hand.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So if you had 5 with hearts, 5 of clubs, that's going to be more likely hand you check. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't think about that in terms of the side cards and how important they are for your hand.
Well, maybe they should.
Maybe they should, right? Yeah, I mean, that's something that is, yeah, very important. I think a lot of people are starting to realize how important those cards are when choosing hands to bluff with and to value bet with. Left-hand side, Doug, 1.5x pot. Takes it down, nice hand. People keep talking about edibles in the chat. Is it edible time? I don't think it is edible time quite yet. Not for you.
It's over 2 hours already. These guys just go.
Yeah. Landon is deep in the edible matrix. No, he's not. Doug with a $100,000 stack on the right-hand side, backing up the truck a little bit today, guys. Not a ton of momentum going for him, so he hasn't got many truck noises his way. But something tells me it could be in the future for him.
just a little
A
jab, a little jab.
Something. Oh, yeah, we're trying to send him a little energy here his way. So Daniel check raises left-hand table. King on the turn. Ace-10 gets there. 9-10 gets there. Shout out to Rancorp up there in the chat. Rancorp's always trying to get me to promote his CBD product. And he wants me to do an advertisement on the podcast. Do you think we should take his CBD advertisement request and we should promote his CBD product that he has? What do you think?
I don't have an opinion.
No opinion? Yes or no? What do you lean towards?
I don't do drugs.
Why don't you? It's not a drug. It's CBD. Is that a drug? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think it's a drug.
I don't know about this stuff.
So we probably shouldn't take his CBD advertisement request, right?
I don't know. Why are you asking me these questions?
I don't know. You got an opinion on these things, man. I don't know.
Why? No.
I don't. You just know things, man. I don't know.
I don't know anything.
You just seem to know things.
I don't know anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Just play the card game.
Just play poker.
Yeah.
When it comes to poker, you know.
Sometimes.
Is CBD actually a drug?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. What is a drug? Is sugar a drug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
And CBD is probably a drug, right?
Caffeine's a drug.
Caffeine's a drug, yeah. So Daniel, min bets the flop. 4,400 the turn.
No drugs. Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad. I wouldn't. You don't do any. You just drink water and eat grass, don't you? There's not a drug rolling through your body except the drugs they put in the tap water.
The Ox protein bars, thanks to Will Jaffe, aka
You only eat Ox protein bars. How about that Will Jaffe guy? He's a character. I like that guy. Doug, a little pot on the right hand side. Okay, a little something going on for Mr. Truck Driver. Give him something. Give him a little bit. 108,000. He's fighting back. He's not going out the fight today.
You give him a quick.
Give him a quick horn. You remember when you were a kid and the trucks come by and you always like tell them to pull the truck?
I don't do that, but I know of that.
You don't do that?
No.
Why not?
I don't want.
Did you ever like play with toys when you were a kid?
I don't want to inconvenience the truck driver.
You don't have to rob
He
their
seems to be having a tough day, probably.
You think so?
Maybe.
Well, yeah, I mean, can you imagine? I was thinking about that. They just drive trucks all over the United States. It's kind of like poker, except truck driving.
Yeah, instead of backing them up, they drive them forward.
Yeah, they drive them forward everywhere. Well, they do back them up when they make the deliveries to the warehouses and stuff like that.
And then they drive them forward.
And then they drive them forward. That's true. They're beeping on that horn a lot. Would you drive a truck for 1 month straight?
It would have to be a pretty compelling reason why.
Just to do it, yeah.
No, definitely not.
You wouldn't just willingly drive a truck?
Correct.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Left-hand side, Daniel, 3/4 pot bet. Straight gets there. Flush draw misses. So he does here. People in the chat can't seem to find out if CBD is a drug or not. He takes it down. Another pot goes Daniel Negreanu's way. 224,000 stack for Daniel Negreanu. Wow. He is cruising along. 3-bet from Doug on the left-hand table gets called. 8-9-4, all diamonds. We've seen some interesting things, some spicy things happen on these monotone boards, Landon.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's see if we see some of that here. Right-hand side, Doug goes for a 1/3 pot bet on the river. Ace-King gets there. 9 gets there. Daniel lays it down. Left-hand table goes check, check. It's kind of like poker, but it's truck driving. Ay. Right-hand side, Daniel 3 bets. Left-hand side, Doug, $5,500 bet. 3-bet pre-flop, check, check, flop. Right-hand side, Doug does call the 3-bet. King deuce 3 board. So we got a couple pots brewing here, boys. $19,000 on the river. The 4th flush gets there. See what Doug Polk's going to do. $19,000 pot, 30,000 behind. He goes for a 12K bet. Takes it down. Doug Polk wins a nice pot. 32,000 pot goes his way. And he's coming back a little bit. He's still down a bunch of money for the day. The Masterclass, Mr. Masterclass, Day Negreanu. You okay? I'm going to throw some water on you or what?
Yeah, I'm good. We're just,
You sure?
just relaxing.
Relax, you're chilling back there. Are you sure you didn't take an edible or something? And then you went to go get food?
Fine.
Okay.
This light's just really bright.
The light's bright?
That light right there.
Yeah. Maybe we turn some other light to balance out that brightness of it.
Yeah, I'm getting a little sleepy.
Sleepy with the light? Can we turn
Yeah.
the light down a little bit?
Yes.
We can try it. Let's turn it down a little bit. Let's adjust our lighting in here. It's getting dark here in G2 headquarters in Vegas. The lights, you know how these lights are for these kids these days here.
Oh, that's really dark though.
Well, we can brighten up the computer. That better?
Yeah.
Okay. Now watch this. You go in here. Bum, 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 bum. Watch this. And you can basically edit the light so that it gets brighter. Watch this. Ba-ba. Look at that. See?
Wow.
Yeah. So now
Dare
you
I
can turn the
say?
light down. So the light isn't as bright now, but you can do all kind of things with the audio in here, with the video in here rather. So
Yeah.
there we go. Picking it up. Amen. Left hand side, D-negs. 7K pot. Queen, queen, 4, deuce, 3. Doug with the overbet, 10,799. He calls Jack 9 for Doug Polk. Day Negreanu, trip queens, takes down a $28,000 pot. Very interesting bluff there. Let's see that hand played out. So Daniel check calls queen 10. Doug bets 3 streets with the Jack 9.
Yeah.
Overbets the river
it
with 2
makes-
flush misses.
Yep. He blocks the queen jack, which is really queen jack queen 9, which is really important
Mm-hmm.
because Daniel doesn't really have king queens or ace queens in range, so he
Mhm.
blocks Daniel's strongest hands.
Interesting.
But then again, Daniel is going to probably have some king queen more than Doug would think because he also did like chop queens at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So Daniel's probably has a stronger range in a single race pot than what is theoretically sound.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So you think that Jack 9 maybe
I think it's good.
think it's good?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, it does not work out for Doug Polk, and Doug Polk back down to that 40,000 stack. So right hand side, Doug's got the momentum, 100K. Left hand side, Daniel Grano, $222,000.
I'm gonna get more water. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Bow, bow, bow.
Bum, 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 bum.
You do a master class on turning trips.
What? You want a masterclass on turning trips?
I can use more trips in my life.
Which maybe we gotta hide the chat from Landon. Too much going on. Too much input happening here. There's so many screens. There's so much happening right here that get you tired over here, boys. How's everybody doing in the chat? You guys enjoying this match so far? Doug Polk, first day in Negreanu. Day 7 of a long match. All I know is, man, I'm really enjoying this because I think this is just kind of watching this and seeing these hands play out is really helping me with the hold'em kind of thing. So right hand side, Doug calls with the king high, 4-4-3-3. Daniel bets with the jack high. Doug takes on a little pot. Shout out to my man Andrew Nemi in the chat. What's up, buddy? How's it going? Nice to see you, brother. I see you putting up a lot of vlogs. Andrew's been working hard. I actually played a little pot in Omaha with him during my break, and it was a fun session. We had a good time. Make sure you guys go check out Andrew's channel if you're not subscribed, even though I'm sure a lot of you guys are subscribed to Andrew Nemi's channel. He's playing poker all around Vegas, sometimes travels to Mexico, sometimes travels to meetup games when they're doing a lot of meetup games, which unfortunately I don't think the meetup games are happening for a little bit of time until things start to pick back up. So, but yeah, make sure you guys check him out. Left-hand side, Doug Polk, value bets the 2 pair. Takes it down. Nice hand. Yi Wang, best stream, great stuff, Joey. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. Byron Hubert, sup, Joey, love the content. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that a lot, guys. Adrian Pacheco, Joey, have you been okay? Maybe. I don't know. It depends on your definition of okay, but it's been a roller coaster of a time, my friends, these past couple months. It's been a roller coaster, but we're happy to be back playing some poker, watching poker, making poker content, thinking about how to improve the game, thinking about how to help people out in the community, and yeah, man, making this. I got a lot of ideas for things I want to do, and let's just hope we can make it happen. Rusty says, would you ever play poker with a friend at the same table? Wouldn't feel like shit either way. Not really. I think that's very normal. Like, people love playing with their friends, and sometimes you might beat your friend out of a pot. Some people don't play as hard against their friends. I personally like the competition and against my friends, unless it's, I don't think any of us are playing for life-changing money. So if one of us wins a pot, you kind of get those bragging rights, and I think I try to have fun with it. So, but I see where you're coming from. I think some people don't like that, and they're uncomfortable kind of taking money from their friends, and sometimes don't play hands with them too. And you can kind of take any approach. I think some people might say that's soft playing and not necessarily in the spirit of the game. And at the highest levels, you aren't going to see great players do that. I mean, if you're in like a high roller and you're playing with a lot of your friends, so you're very often not going to be taking it easy against your friends in those situations. And if you do, and it's on stream, then people might say you're cheating and colluding and all that kind of stuff like that. And now you get to see where it might be an issue. So if you're playing in home games or dollar games, maybe it's not that big of an issue. But when you're playing for a large amount of money, it becomes an issue. So then the question is it actually an issue in any game, and should it be allowed in any game? Because I think it's pretty normal for recreational players or amateur players who play with their friends to sometimes like try to share information and not go against each other and try to go against other players at the game. And it's an interesting topic on its own. So right hand side, straight gets there on the river. Daniel, that's pretty big, and Doug folds really quickly. At least Doug Polk's playing pretty quickly right now. Bubba says, is Landon okay or just a little high on stream? Yeah, he just seems a little shy. He seems tired. I mean, it's like intense. The light is kind of bright too. I'm very used to the light. I've done it for many, many shows. Plus, you got the chat right here. You got the screens right here. You got other stuff happening over here. And, it's a lot kind of going on right now. Andrew says, Joey definitely didn't take it easy. I mean, we played PLO. Yeah, I definitely did not go easy on Andrew. I mean, I was just playing hands. So right-hand side, Doug 3 bets pre-flop, bets half pot, ace jack 8, turn deuce of spades. See what Daniel does here. I'm sorry, Doug. Doug goes for a little nice size bet, 11,000 into 16,000. See what Daniel Negreanu does. He does call. River's a 5. Yeah, we definitely need some background music. Let's find some nice background music here once Landon comes back. We'll find some here. So Doug does check the right-hand table. Daniel calls 2 straights. Could have some missed straight draws. 9-10, backdoor spades. He bets. Doug folds pretty quickly. Daniel takes down a nice $65,000 pot. Takes a little chips back. Yeah, Landon right now is he's talking to the big shelves. Eating some food. He's also hungry. We got to get the kid fed, man. We got to prepare him, man. We got to prepare him, get him a nice meal next time. Get him a couple glasses of water, get his energy going. Jeff Boski said it. More win Potland Omaha meetups. Yeah, I think Boski played Potland Omaha for a little bit. It was, yeah, we had a lot of people. Rampage Poker was out there too. People said don't get DMCA'd. Yeah, it happens. I'm looking for some background music here. Puts them in for the next match. Sam says, have you been keeping up with the Linus Love versus Barry Sweet heads-up PLO match? Nah, I haven't been keeping up with that. There's a lot going on in poker right now, so I'm more of like focusing on investing. So I've been studying a lot of GTO investment ideas, how to think about investing, the differences between the different assets, how the stock market works, index funds, Bitcoin, gold, silver, real estate, how you compound your wealth, how you grow wealth, the idea of earned income versus passive income versus investment income. So a lot of my focus has been on understanding how business works in general and, really coming up with different business models for ideas that I might have in terms of products or services and deciding whether I want to do some sort of B2B product or B2C product, or if I want to just play more poker, if I want to promote poker sites, because in poker, if you're trying to build a business related to poker, as myself, the way you would do that is by left-hand table. Daniel Hero calls him with the pocket jacks and takes down a $9,200 pot, and he is up to $230,000. But yeah, when you're in a position like me, you either would make money from your poker, you might create a product or a course, you might start to coach people, you might affiliate yourself with a poker site, and you might promote that poker site, and for that they might pay you a fee plus some sort of affiliate bonus. Or so there is a number of different ways you can go upon doing it. I'm not sure if I necessarily want to do that, so I'm trying to take my talents and skills and figure out different ways that I could package them into services. And yeah, I have a big network of people out there that are doing a lot of things, and I know how to get in contact with people from different industries if I'd like to. So I think the opportunity to figure out what I really want to do is has never been better. So especially people are going to be at home coming up here, and it's an unknown time in terms of what's going to happen in the world. Welcome back, Landon. People are worried about you, buddy. You okay?
Yeah, just had to wake up pretty early, so.
Yeah, we got to get some food next time, brother.
Yeah, I woke up pretty early today, and then it's been a rough couple days because on Sunday winning the tournament was really good, but then we also had to get after this at 3 p.m. or 3:30, and I went
so
to
late
bed.
in the day. I mean 3 p.m.
No, but I went to bed at 8 a.m. I was just super hyped. Just
I know.
Kind of just
Fired up.
And then today I got a vlogcast on with Matt.
Nice. You guys talked about the tournament win?
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's just been a pretty hectic couple of days, but all in a good way. And then
winning the money yourself?
I'll try to get some sleep tonight and tomorrow, and then we'll come back Friday for
Amen. I love it. But yeah, someone said something about are you looking at equities or just diversifying across a lot of asset classes? Trying to figure that out right now. I think most people say put a lot of your money in Bitcoin, but I'm definitely going to diversify my own approach to investing. And also I'm looking at different companies in poker to either potentially partner with or invest in or acquire in some way. You never know. So there's a few different interesting sectors of business in the poker world that I've been looking at getting involved in, from live poker and online poker. And there's a lot of opportunity out there if you understand business and understand how you provide value to these different businesses through your existing platform or through the knowledge that you have or through the network that you have. So figuring out how to package all those things into something that is something that people want to do is what I'm working at right now. Put on a little bit of music for you, buddy. You okay?
Yeah.
You ready?
I'm good. Just
ready? A little
bit.
dancing? Get a little dancing in here. Landon's got some moves. Doug Polk,
sure.
3-bet on the left-hand side. Ace 5-3 board, rainbow. So yeah, it looks like Daniel's up a lot of money here. Probably up about near 200,000 if I had to make a guess. Maybe more. So Doug checks the left-hand side. Doug check calls. Turns a 6.
Turns indeed a 6.
See what happens here.
Wow, this is a pretty big bet. Interesting.
Unusual about that big?
I don't know if it's unusual, but most of the time in position after a check, you're going to want to stop for a small size, like a 33%. And obviously make some big bets, so.
Why is that?
To complicate your strategy.
Makes
your
sense,
strategy,
yeah.
and get value with some hands and maximize fold equity with bluffs. So.
Well, Daniel takes it down. Yeah, how do you build that strategy? It seems kind of complicated for someone to build that type of strategy where they have big bets and small bets there too.
So heads up is tough, man.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I know. People are talking about Chainlink, Dogecoin.
Everyone's a genius in the chat.
They're just giving their ideas, giving their suggestion. We like your chat in the chat. I like their comments. I mean, I think it wouldn't be the same without the chat, man. Blitz says, I wonder if the pile solver creators are the ones raking the most money nowadays in the poker industry. No, the people raking the most money in the poker industry are
poker sites.
Are the poker operators on the application-based sites and the home game owners. So basically, the people who created the Poker Bros and the PP Poker,
the game runners, and
in poker industry, theoretically, the companies that should be making the most money are the people that are the operators that are putting the games on, and then you can kind of scale down the overall poker business from there. So you can. Way too much strategy, but yeah, the operator's making the most money, and the private game players are also making money.
6 high.
Not smart.
It happens.
Yeah. Happens sometimes. Sometimes check, sometimes bet.
Normally, in theoretical spots, it's hard to find your almost zero showdown hands
Mm-hmm.
that have no equity or pot share decide to give up on the pot. So he probably has his reasons for doing what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Any idea what those reasons might be? Maybe thinks Daniel's calling a bit too much.
I don't know, calling
that
too much,
texture?
but maybe his range is more protected than he would think.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which imbalances him towards not bluffing as much and having more value hands.
Yeah, interesting. Doug takes out another pot with his bottom pair. Fish Cakes, hi guys. Poppy, great to see you, brother. Thank you very much, Fish Cakes. Good to be back in the content streets here. I might play some heads up Noman Hold'em. You want to play after this? You want to play a little match?
I'm really fucking tired.
Oh, you're tired? Yeah, I'm tired. I'm just kidding. We're not gonna play though.
We could play.
You want to play?
Fuck it, why not?
You got time to play? You gonna go home and take a nap after this? Want to take a nap in the beanbag chair?
It's a nice chair.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah.
Take a little nap. Maybe some food later. A little sushi sambar or something like that for the kid. Have we gone there since your victory? We haven't, huh? No.
It's like a DJ music.
I know, pretty much, yeah. It's a little bit of something. Doug gets check raised on the left-hand table.
You need to understand that everything you do at the poker table conveys information. You can't be like all loosey-goosey having a sandwich, being on your phone. Woohoo, baby, I love it.
The guy's... Dan Negreanu's taking it to Doug Polk right now, so check raises the turn. Gets called. River is the 3. Clubs do miss. Bets $10,000. Can Doug Polk find a truck back up here?
Can he find a truck? Is there a truck? Any trucks about?
Can he find the horn sound? Can he back up the truck? Pot size bet on the right-hand side. Left-hand table, Doug's in the tank. Got check raise on the turn. Daniel's saying, I have a 9. He does call, and Daniel Negreanu shows down the 9.
He shows the goods and the services.
Ay, ay, ay. The truck is absolutely busted out many tires today as Doug Polk. Ay, ay, ay. Doug Polk. The truck is gone. Oh, my gosh. The truck is out of control today as Daniel Negreanu is up to $261,000 on the left-hand
You need
table.
to understand that everything you do at the poker table conveys information.
Absolutely beast moding it here against Doug Polk.
He's getting it done.
He is getting it done. I mean, he's showing out a lot of really strong hands, that's for sure. Jeez. Did you get some water?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Looks like they're probably going to play another 3 hours again today.
Oh yeah, as you meant 3 hours more. I was like, fuck me, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, Jesus, man.
Hey, maybe it's some sleep before Friday's match. What do you think?
Yeah, I keep having things to do because I keep doing good things. Oh shit!
Win all the money.
Just punch the mic.
You win all the money, kid. It happens.
Oh, you might need to get a guest commentator for Friday because of this Venetian tournament.
Oh, what time's it at?
Early morning, Red.
Early morning? Maybe I'll have Shelby commentate with me. Get her on here a little bit.
Yeah.
So how's the Venetian tournament you're playing on? What time?
I'm not. I think registration might be at like 9 a.m. or something. Maybe?
Oh, okay.
11 a.m. maybe.
Me grinding that. Get
Oh,
in
I'm
the
sure.
street.
In the beginning. Yeah.
Start there from the start. Ryan DePaulo, $2.99 donation. Thank you very much, Ryan DePaulo.
D's negs.
Sure, you guys check out his channel. Does a lot of great vlogs, gambling. He's more of a degenerate gambler, but he's been killing it in the tournaments, it looks like. So he's been having a lot of success in the ACR streets. Shout out to Ryan. I know he's working hard. He's always trying to bring up really good content for people and trying to entertain his fans. Shout out to his girlfriend, Katie. Shout out to Joey's a Mush. Shout out to Parkour. You watch any vlogs? You a big vlog guy?
Not really.
No? You like any sort of content? What kind of content are you into?
I'm in the anime streets.
You like anime? What kind of anime is that?
Yeah. All the animes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's just Japanese TV,
Japanese TV.
basically.
Okay, interesting. So what do they do on there? They're just like...
Well, it's a cartoon kind of.
So just cartoons. What do they do in the cartoons?
There's
They
like different kinds. There's like sports kinds. There's like psychological kinds. It's like TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I've never really watched it before. Is there one that we should check out? If
Yeah.
you had to suggest one.
I recommended Death Note to Nick, and Nick is in love.
Death Note?
Death Note.
Okay.
It's a great one.
What's that about, Death Note?
It's about like a guy. It's like in high school, finds a notebook that if you write their name in the notebook, they die. And then it's a whole thing about like he wants to like change the world and like get rid of all the criminals, but that's kind of unethical too. So like there's a case and like trying to find out who the guy is that's doing all the murdering.
So they're trying to catch this guy.
Yeah, there's a team, and then it's really good.
So Death Note.
I don't want to get too much into it.
There's a guy who writes people's names in a book and they die.
Correct.
And now there's other people, like an investigator, like a Poppy GTO, who's out there trying to figure out who's killing them. But this guy's got a notebook. He could just kill the investigators, though.
But he doesn't know what their names are.
He doesn't know what the investigators are?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
But he knows the investigators, but he doesn't know their names.
So he doesn't know. What is he, a fucking idiot? How can he find out the names of the investigators?
Because they keep it secret on purpose, Joey. What the fuck?
Oh, it's because they
Fucking
know.
Joey, yeah.
So wait, how do they know?
They're just gonna give their names out.
Wait a second. How do they know that this guy can kill people by writing their names in the notebook?
They do the show. They figure it out a little bit.
That seems like crazy.
It's like detective work.
They couldn't get him?
You watch the goddamn show, Joey, and then say your piece.
Left-hand side, Doug Polk 3-bet pre-flop. Bet pretty nice size in the deuce 4. Turn, he's betting 1/3 pot on the 3. Gets called. What do you think's going on here?
I'm too busy thinking about
You don't have the chat. I'm gonna close the chat. You can't have the chat no more. You're too distracted by the chat.
I wasn't distracted by the
chat. I gotta close the chat, guys.
I wasn't distracted by the chat.
Man is too distracted by the chat.
I was distracted by you getting so hyped up about Death Note.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what's happening, man. I'm trying to figure out what the Death Note's about.
It's fire. Just trust me.
I'll watch it. I'll check it out.
Will you?
Yeah, left hand in his hand, left-hand side. Doug 3 bets, bet flop, bet turn. Daniel checks back. Very interesting. So Doug shows down 5-7 suited. Does not turn that into a bluff. Doug has the ace jack. What do you think about that hand, Landon?
Let's replay it real quick.
So 3-bet pre-flop.
Okay.
Doug, big bet.
Okay.
Call. Turn, open and straight draw. 1/3.
I like Daniel's call with the gutter and 2 overs.
River 10.
And he gives up. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, what hands would you bluff in if you're Doug Polk in that?
Hearts.
So you'd want to have 2 hearts in your hand?
That would be a flush, but I would want to.
I'm sorry, one heart. My bad. One heart.
I want to have like a 5 with a heart in some
Okay.
capacity.
Yeah.
Like the 5 of heart. Like, it's hard to have like an offsuit 5, like maybe ace 5 off is the straight. Well, ace 5 off is the straight, obviously. So it's really hard for him to have like necessarily 5 of heart, other offsuit non-completed hand for a bluff.
Mm-hmm.
But the 5 of hearts is a really good card to have in this spot. A 6 of hearts as well.
Yeah, I guess when you think about what hands would he 3-bet that pre-flop with, not many offsuit 5s, right?
Right.
Yeah. So maybe that's why he leans towards giving up on the river.
And he also just doesn't block hearts, which is a very big problem.
So if he had one high heart in his hand.
A high heart in his hand would be a good bluff, yeah.
Okay.
Like having the ace of hearts too.
He
and
probably,
for Daniel, having the ace of hearts is really good because you block Doug from having the nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you don't think this was a bad flop or turn bet by Doug Polk?
Of course not.
Okay.
He turns open-ended. He doesn't cooler an ace with a straight, but he does cooler a 5. And Daniel can have some ace 5 suited in his range for a wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the river, if a 6 does appear, Doug now has a very strong hand.
Interesting. Well, Doug Polk is not having the momentum on his side. Dan Negreanu is dominating. He is now
278,000.
I mean, my God, the guy cannot lose a fucking hand right now on that left-hand table. Right-hand side a little more competitive, but the left-hand table, he is absolutely crushing it.
Yeah.
If you guys have any sound effect suggestions out there, so we're gonna add some more sound effects to the stream. Please submit them. I'm making a soundboard, so I'm gonna have a soundboard with about 20 to 50 different effects on there, and I'm gonna find my best ones. We're gonna get a couple more green screen animations on here too. Work on this overlay, work on the presentation as well. And by the end of this challenge, it's gonna be looking pretty sweet. I'm excited for it. I got some other things I'm working on right now too, for content and for business. So Pretty excited about that. Landon playing a lot of pokers, and he playing that tournament Venetian Friday, you said?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably. If not, he'll be in the commentator booth here with me. Right-hand side. Doug Polk 3 bets. I want to pull out an old truck. I feel like the last match we had way more truck backups. You know what I mean? We haven't been able to back the truck up at all today on Doug Polk's side.
There is no trucks being backed up.
I know, there is absolutely no trucks being backed up now. Someone said we should have lettuce. Somebody eats lettuce. You know what I mean? We can have Daniel. We can have someone like eating lettuce or something like that. I don't know.
Because vegan.
Yeah, because he's vegan. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know.
Because
seems
class, seems kind of out of line. A little bit mean.
I know. I mean, I don't know.
A little bit mean.
I'm looking for like positive suggestions for sound effects for Daniel. So right now we got the masterclass ad. We're rolling. We got. Should put the smoke. Maybe we need some smoke in here. Look at this beginning animation.
Wow.
I need to cut that off.
All design.
All design creative. I need to email these guys. These guys make some great green screen. Look at subscribe. Okay. All right.
Nice. Look at the smoke. Yes. Nice.
There we go. Might overtake us though a little bit.
It's gonna overtake us. But
No,
that's
it won't.
okay.
It won't.
It knows better.
It knows better than to over. No, calm down. Calm down, smoke. A little smoke kind of going on the table right now. A little smoke break. A little fire break there. Maybe some fire too. What do you think?
A little campfire, just like put your
A little
hand-
campfire to put your hands over. Kind of warm up in the mix. Close your nose. Don't get that smoke. Don't inhale that smoke. Don't inhale the smoke out there, my friends. Right hand side, another pot brewing.
Doug wants all the smoke.
Doug does want. He wanted all the smoke now.
Andrew says he needs to up his live stream game.
So check on the right hand side. He checks again.
Pocket threes takes now.
You can't watch the chat over there, buddy. I have it in the corner for a reason. You keep going back to the chat.
I'm just reading it. Why can't I read the
You
chat?
can't, because you get too distracted, man.
No.
I'm telling you.
No.
You get too distracted, buddy. You don't. Yeah, it's like it's an art. You know what I'm saying? It's an art. You can't know what happens in the hands if you're watching these crazy fuckers in my chat. D-Negs takes it
We
down.
can just dance.
This music is kind of chill, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. You always have like this in my ears during the tournament.
This is what you listen to?
No, I listen to like Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke, yeah. Just killing people. fucking
in the Death Note.
Fucking their girlfriends.
Sure.
That's what you think about? Killing people? That's all he talks about, killing people. Oh, that's it. Oh, he puts another. He gets two subscribes in on his green screen animation. Nice. A little smoke going on there right here. Yeah, we got some animations in the works for sure. B. Gutierrez keeps asking me about Abe Lyman. Of course I remember Abe. My thoughts on him are that he's a character and he's got nice hair. So I like Abe. He's holding it down up at the Great Game of Pop out in Los Angeles. And I like him a lot, man. He's a cool guy. Seems a little crazy, but I like most of the people I end up interacting with in the poker world. D-Negs, trying to get to that 300,000 stack over at the left-hand side. This probably won't be the hand he's going to be able to do that at.
Doug.
Rivers
the pair.
Little something,
Little
10K,
truck.
little coming back, yeah. Little coming back. I mean,
Tonka truck.
A little Tonka truck, yeah. It looks like Doug might be down about 200-some thousand, a little over 200,000 right now. It looks like Daniel Negreanu is winning.
Yep.
On today's match. Yeah, if you guys are watching, we got a lot of people watching out there, a couple thousand people watching. Make sure you guys smash that like button if you're out there, man. If you enjoy the stream, if you like Daniel and Doug playing, if you enjoy the commentary. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, too. Be doing more content. I'll be posting any of my updates on Twitter, JoeIngram1, Instagram at PoppyGTO. So if you want to follow any updates on the event, you can go ahead and do that. Doug bets the flop on the left-hand side. Daniel check calls. Turns it jack. You love the chat so much, man. You really do like it. It goes fast, doesn't it?
It does.
I'm telling you, it can be distracting though. Have on the left here. Check down to the river.
Daniel put a bet on the turn and check, and then check call.
Wow.
Daniel calls with the 3.
What about that one? Bottom pair for Dan Negreanu.
He didn't believe.
Check call flop. Check turn. Check call river. King 3. Buy and play by both.
Turn bet seems interesting with king.
Turn went check.
What happened on the flop?
Flop went check call.
Wow. Huh. I feel like Doug would mostly want to bet with his hand, having 7 of diamonds, and mixing back some checkbacks. So I'm assuming he's mostly been a bet and checking back sometimes. So yeah, I mean, the king 3 seems a little bit interesting. Not that it's bad or anything, just it's a tough spot. Daniel made it look easy though with that snap call on that left-hand side.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I guess maybe he's thinking.
He sees 300K in his sights.
You think so? You think maybe he thought if Doug had a jack, he would have bet the turn with a jack, and if he had a 10,
No, he would check a jack.
Think he'd check a jack?
Of course.
But you think maybe Daniel thinks that he's not checking a jack enough to justify?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Nice hand by Dan Negreanu. He's up to 280,000. The masterclass ad is absolutely dominating today. Left-hand side, $4,000 pot. Doug bets 2,600 on the river. Gets called. Shows down second pair, 8 kicker. Nice value bet by Doug.
Get paid by 7 or worse 10.
7-3, dude.
10-4.
Nice hand to bet there. Anytime you get second pair, you can see, guys, if you're playing heads up and you aren't betting second pair, these guys
You're
are
not value betting enough.
Yeah, these guys value bet very, very light. Would you say that's a difference between a losing player and someone who's a winning player, is the ability to understand when to value bet light?
I don't know if it's a losing player or a winning player, but I think it's between a player that wins like 3 big blinds versus like 8 big blinds. Looks like this is it.
This might be the end of the match here, boys and girls. Daniel put the chat up there. We don't know what he said. So this might be the end of the match. We're not sure. Let's see. So Daniel's sitting out, and I'd say he's up about over $200,000 right now. If this is the end of the match, we will see. This happened last time, and then they started playing again. We'll see. And it looks like it's it. Doug leaves very quickly, concedes defeat, going back to the lab. That looks like it's going to be it for today's match. Negreanu absolutely dominates to the tune of up $200,000, my friends. And that's what we got, man. Landon, appreciate you doing commentary today with me, my friend.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat, you guys are great, man. Lil Anon, Brandon, McGinnis, Nasty Nate, Shelby doing a great job moderating. Big shout out to Big Shelb. She's always working hard. Exchange Rate, Solar C, my man Moonlight Master, BAAMFU, Eddie Vedder, Christopher Stockwell, Jennifer Rochelle, what's up, Antichrist. You guys shout out? You want to give anybody out there, my friend?
No, I'm chilling.
Chilling. What do you think the odds are here in terms of what do you feel like the odds might be for a match like this? You think is Doug Polk still a favorite? He's down right now, maybe about 140,000.
Yeah, it's 3 buy-ins.
3 buy-ins. Think you still got the advantage?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, guys, this
is the highlight of
this image sums it up, my friends. This sums it up. The truck falling off the rails today. It's not Doug Polk's day. And guys, I appreciate y'all. Make sure you smash the like button if you enjoyed it. We'll be back soon. Comment below if you can, if you watch this back. And that's what we got. Alex Berger, Wickman, Mitch S. Appreciate you guys very much. Eric Thibodeau, Alex Lee, Daniel Edler, Reisner, Noah Smith, Cameron Mers, Darcy, Rodello. Much love, guys. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, for being here to watch this match go down. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out. Adios. Take care. Much love. Cameron Mers. Pop B.